Chapter 2209. But this is really too expensive. Jean Suizhuan looked conflicted. If it was really cheap she might accept it. If it was really too expensive she always felt that she was taking advantage of others. She had always been a person who didn't like to take advantage of others. Zhao Yuner insisted, "Okay, fifth uncle, fifth aunt, you really don't have to be polite with me. I only come here once in a few hundred years, and I don't bring you these every time I come. Fifth uncle used to treat me well. As a junior, I should be filial to you, right?" Zhao Yuner looked at the conflicted faces of the two and felt a little helpless. If these good things were sent to the first and second branch she probably didn't have to say anything. The two of them would happily accept it. However, when it came to Zhao Wenxing, the husband and wife didn't like to take advantage of others. They would refuse to accept even the slightest good thing. "Fifth uncle, it's okay if you don't eat these things, but if you give them to fifth aunt to eat it's really good for her health. I think fifth aunt's complexion doesn't look very good, so she needs to eat more longan and red dates to replenish her complexion." Zhao Wenxing was a little moved when he heard this. Indeed, as Zhao Yuna said, it was okay if he didn't eat it himself. Now that Jean Suizhuan was pregnant, she needed to nourish her body. He didn't earn much money himself. Most of the time, the monthly allowance given by the academy was used to buy books. Of course, this was under Jean Suizhuan's insistence and support. After buying those books, his life naturally became a lot more difficult. Basically, he couldn't take out the money to buy those good things for Jean Suizhuan to nourish her body. After hearing Zhao Yuner's words, Zhao Wenxing glanced at Jean Suizhuan's complexion. It was good to nourish her body. If he continued to refuse, Jean Suizhuan would only be the one who suffered. Zhao Wenxing looked at Zhao Yuner and nodded in response. "Okay, Yuner, fifth uncle will accept these things. You're too filial. Fifth uncle will remember your kindness in the future." Zhao Yuner smiled slightly. "Fifth uncle, you're an elder, so it's right." Jean Suizhuan was a little embarrassed as she tugged at Zhao Wenxing's clothes, indicating that Zhao Wenxing shouldn't say it. Zhao Wenxing winked at Jean Suizhuan and whispered something in her ear. "Since it's Yuner's filial piety, let's accept it, lest we let her down. Later you can take these things and stew them to nourish your body. Sai, now that you're pregnant you have to take good care of yourself. You can't suffer and you can't let the child in your belly suffer." When Jean Suizhuan saw the concern and affection in Zhao Wenxing's eyes, she felt a sense of happiness. This time she obeyed Zhao Wenxing's arrangement and accepted Zhao Yuner's gift. When the girl saw that there were guests, she was very happy. Zhao Yuner took out the candies and handed them to the girl. She said to the girl, "Come big girl, this is what Aunt Yun specially brought for you. I didn't forget big girl." When the girl saw the candies in Zhao Yuner's hands, her eyes lit up. It could be seen that the girl was very excited and happy. However, the girl was a very sensible child. Usually she wouldn't go in to take things that others gave her, even if it was something she liked. She would first get Jean Suizhuan's consent. Only when Jean Suizhuan nodded, would she reach out to take it. Chapter 2210. Zhao Yuner was afraid that Jean Suizhuan wouldn't let the girl eat it, so she said, "Fifth aunt, it's just a little candy. It's not worth much. Let the girl eat it." Jean Suizhuan looked at the girl's greedy expression and felt a little heartache. Coupled with Zhao Yuner's words, she nodded at the girl. Seeing that Jean Suizhuan agreed, the girl shyly took the candy from Zhao Yuner's hand. Jean Suizhuan patted the girl's head and said, "Hurry up and say thank you." The girl's mouth revealed a sweet smile. Her smile was like the morning sun in spring, very infectious. "Aunt Yun, thank you." It could be seen that the girl was well educated by Jean Suizhuan. Children who were a few years old basically relied on their parents to educate them. Children who were well educated by their parents would be good. If their parents didn't teach them well, those naughty children would appear. Just like old Zhao's second branch. Her cousin Zhao Tianyu had been doted on by Li Chuiying and influenced by Zhao Wenshui's behavior. He became arrogant and domineering. He didn't listen to reason at all and was a complete naughty child. This kind of child liked to stir up trouble, and no one liked her no matter where she went. Unlike the girl who was so polite and sensible that everyone loved her. Even if they wanted to hate her, they couldn't. Zhao Yuner shook her head and smiled as she replied, "You're welcome." The girl had already happily opened the candy wrapper and stuffed it into her mouth. The sweet taste overflowed her mouth and filled her entire heart. Sure enough, the less a child got, the easier it was to be satisfied. Just like a long time ago, Dowda was also very excited when he saw candy. Now that he had eaten a lot of candy, he naturally didn't care much about it. Zhao Yuna looked at Zhao Wenxing and Jean Suizhuan and asked with concern, "I just heard from fifth uncle that fifth aunt is pregnant? Zhao Wenxing's face instantly turned red. He replied to Zhao Yun'er a little embarrassedly, "Yes, she's pregnant. Your fifth aunt is now 2 months pregnant." Jin Suizhuan also seemed a little embarrassed. She stood beside Zhao Wenxing with her head lowered. Zhao Wenxing was shy and excited to be a father for the first time. Although Jin Suizhuan had given birth before, this was her and Zhao Wenxing's child. The meaning was very different. Both of them cherished the child in their stomach very much, just as they cherished this happiness. This child was the fruit of their love, and his arrival meant that their love had borne fruit. Zhao Yun'er smiled and said, "Then I really have to congratulate fifth uncle and fifth aunt. Time really flies. In the blink of an eye, even fifth aunt is pregnant. If my parents heard about it, they would definitely be happy." Speaking old Zhao's old's family's situation. He didn't know the family'd have a families. Yes, it wasn't that he didn't want to go back, but for Jin Suizhuan, he had no choice but to not go back. Based on his understanding of Huachunhua, bringing Jin Suizhuan back to old Zhao's family would only make Jin Suizhuan feel wronged. Even if Jin Suizhuan was pregnant and their family's fifth branch had an heir, Zhao Wenxing never brought this news back. Yun'er, your father, your mother, your grandparents, uncles and aunts, are they all okay? Zhao Wenxing knew that Zhao Wenxing was still concerned about old Zhao's family situation, so he said with a smile, "They're all fine. A lot of things have happened during this time." Chapter 22:11. For example, Zhao Ping'er, Zhao Jing'er, and Zhao Xinhui were all married. Although Zhao Xinhui was divorced later on, she was still married after all. Of course, there was also Zhao Tianhu's marriage and Zhao Wenshui's and Li Chuanying's divorce. Zhao Wenxing couldn't help but sigh when he heard that. It turned out that so many big things had happened in old Zhao's family in just a few months. If he hadn't heard Zhao Yun'er's words, he really wouldn't have imagined it. After Zhao Yun'er finished speaking, Zhao Wenxing couldn't help but sigh. "Sigh, it's only been a few months, but it feels like things have changed." Zhao Yun'er chuckled, "Yes, a lot of things have happened during this period of time. But fifth uncle, if you have time, it's okay to go back and take a look. At most, you can just ignore what my grandfather and grandmother say." Zhao Wenxing nodded. "Okay, fifth uncle, if you have time, go back and take a look." If he didn't go back, he felt that home was no longer home. The place he had stayed for many years had become strangely unfamiliar. "Yun-er, do you have anything else to do this time?" Zhao Yun'er nodded. "My brother Tianan is going to get married. This time I specially came to fifth uncle's place to tell fifth uncle. When Tianan gets married, if you and fifth aunt have time, you can go and attend." Zhao Wenxing heard that Zhao Tianan was getting married. Although Zhao Tianan was still young, he didn't expect it to be so soon. Okay. Fifth uncle definitely won't miss Tianan's wedding. What day is it? Tell me and I'll bring your fifth aunt over. It was just right that he used this as an excuse to go back to his hometown. He only hoped that his parents wouldn't say anything for the sake of the child in Jin Suizhuan's belly. After all, he and Jin Suizhuan were already living together. It was completely meaningless to be picky. Zhao Yun'er told him the date, which was a few days later. Zhao Wenxing also agreed to go. Zhao Yun'er chatted with the fifth branch for a while but did not stay for long. Instead she got up. As for Zhao Wenshui, Zhao Yun'er didn't want to pay attention to him. That second uncle of hers was really annoying. If she brought him back, it would only add to her troubles. She might as well let Zhao Wenshui fend for himself. Zhao Yun'er drove Xiaomao back to the village leisurely, but they still had to pass by the Zheng family's courtyard on the way back. When Zhao Yun'er passed by, she saw Zhao Wenshui being thrown out. The person who threw Zhao Wenshui was a servant of the Zheng family. Zhao Yun'er was stunned. Didn't Zhao Wenshui go to find Zhao Jing? After all, Zhao Wenshui was Zhao Jing's father. How could he be thrown out so casually? The way the Zheng family treated Zhao Wenshui obviously showed that they didn't take Zhao Jing seriously. At that time, young Master Zheng accompanied Zhao Jing back to her parents' home. It seemed that he treated Zhao Jing well, but now it was obvious that he was just doing it to save face. In fact, Zhao Jing was just a concubine, a tool to give birth to a child. Her status in the Zheng family wasn't high. She was just a country girl. The Zheng family didn't take her seriously at all. However, Zhao Yun'er was curious about what Zhao Wenshui had done to be thrown out by the Zheng family. It should be something that angered the Zheng family. Otherwise they wouldn't be so extreme. With Zhao Yun'er's understanding of Zhao Wenshui, this second uncle of hers was indeed capable of doing anything. Chapter 22:12. If she hadn't brought him along, none of this would have happened. After Zhao Wenshui was thrown out, young Master Zheng also walked out of the Zheng family's mansion and said to Zhao Wenshui, who was on the ground, in a low voice, "Although you are my father-in-law, I will respect you for Jing Er's sake. However, I won't allow you to fool around and take whatever you want from the Zheng family. When you married Jing Er, the Zheng family already gave you enough money as a wedding gift. Now you continue to make a fuss about money. Do you take us for fools? No matter how rich the Zheng family is, we won't give it away for free." Zhao Wenshui was sprawled on the ground. He had been thrown quite badly by the Zheng family's servants. His body was already injured, so how could he withstand such torment? Now that he was about to be thrown to the ground, he grimaced in pain and couldn't get up. Zhao Yun stopped and watched quietly from a distance. The commotion caused by the Zheng family also attracted passers-by to stop and watch the show. Zhao Wenshui groaned on the ground. When he saw people coming over, Zhao Wenshui immediately pretended to be pitiful and cried, "Help, help. Everyone help me. I'm about to be beaten to death by my son-in-law. Everyone look, whose son-in-law would beat up his father-in-law like this? Isn't the Zheng family just rich? Everyone look at this. Is this human nature?" Zhao Wenshui had become smarter. He knew that if he said this in front of everyone, the Zheng family wouldn't dare to do anything to him in order to save face. After hearing Zhao Wenshui's words, the onlookers started chattering. "Aya, what's going on? What happened? This person says that he's young Master Zheng's father-in-law, but he's acting like this. Is the Zheng family really going to marry such a person? I don't think so. How can they have such a father-in-law when they're well-matched in terms of social status? I don't think so either. This person is just making things up, right?" Hearing these people's discussion, Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, "Everyone, this is really my son-in-law. I'm not lying. If you don't believe me, ask him." Young Master Zheng's face darkened. He glanced at Zhao Wenshui and became even angrier at Zhao Wenshui. It seemed like he was being too polite by throwing him out of the Zheng clan's residence. This kind of person should be beaten up and taught a good lesson. It was then that Zhao Jing'er rushed out. Seeing Zhao Wenshui on the ground, her heart ached. But when she thought about what Zhao Wenshui had done to her, Zhao Jing'er blamed Zhao Wenshui. She had already rejected Zhao Wenshui's offer of money, but who knew that he would directly come to the Zheng family and ask for 100 taels of silver. When she married into the Zheng family, she didn't receive a lot of money every month. It wasn't even 100 taels of silver. After she rejected his offer, Zhao Wenshui thought that she was doing it on purpose and went to look for young Master Zheng. When young Master Zheng expressed his rejection, Zhao Wenshui was very angry. He felt that as his father-in-law, he only came to ask young Master Zheng for 100 taels of silver. The Zheng family was so rich, but they refused to give it to him. Zhao Wenshui made a scene at the Zheng residence, saying that if the Zheng family didn't give him the money, he wouldn't go back and would continue to stay at the Zheng residence. This behavior annoyed and angered the Zheng family, and she was also scolded by the Zheng family. Chapter 22:13. If she really ended up like that one day, it would be her father's fault. Thinking about it, her father was really too much. Not only did he force her mother away, but now he was making trouble for her. He was someone who didn't want to live a good life. Why was it that other people's fathers were quite good, but she had such a father? Putting away the anger in her heart, Zhao Jing'er looked at Zhao Wenshui with some resentment. Zhao Wenshui also saw Zhao Jing'er, so he reached out to greet her. "Jing, do you pity your father? Look at what your man has done to your father." Zhao Jing'er looked at Zhao Wenshui, then looked at the gloomy young Master Zheng. Taking a deep breath, she said coldly to Zhao Wenshui, "Father, don't make trouble here. Today you came here and asked for 100 taels of silver. I really can't give it to you. Also, I'm just a concubine of the Zheng family. The Zheng family was very considerate to me back then and gave me a lot of betrothal gifts. How can you ask for so much money from them now? It's not easy for anyone these days. Even if you have money, you can't afford to waste it. Aren't you no different from a scoundrel today?" Zhao Jing'er said with a frown. "Jing, how can you talk about your father like that? You've only been married for a few days and you've already forgotten your real father?" Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Jing'er angrily. He originally thought that his daughter would feel sorry for him, but now not only did his daughter ignore him, she even spoke up for her in-laws. He was the one who was beaten. Now his bones were broken and he couldn't even get up. The more Zhao Wenshui thought about it, the sadder he felt. All the grievances he had suffered these days suddenly exploded. Zhao Jing'er also felt very wronged. Her eyes were red as she said, "Father, I'm on the side of reason, not family. Don't pester endlessly. Unless you don't want your daughter to live a good life. Young Master Zheng's face was sullen. For the Zheng family's reputation, he clarified in front of so many people. Our Zheng clan will treat father-in-law with respect, but we won't be polite to a scoundrel. When I married Jing as my concubine, I gave her enough betrothal gifts. It can be said that the Zheng family spends more money on a concubine than other families. Now that you're asking for money from the Zheng family, it's our duty to give it to you. But you keep talking about 100 taels of silver. Forgive us, Zheng family, for not doing charity. If you don't keep thinking about causing trouble, the servants of the Zheng family are not raised for nothing. After the onlookers heard these words, they more or less understood what had happened. It turned out that it was just a concubine's biological father who came to ask for money, asking for 100 taels. It was no wonder that the Zheng family would be angry. The onlookers criticized Zhao Wenshui for his shameless behavior. Isn't marrying your daughter off to be a concubine the same as selling your daughter off? They've already given you a betrothal gift. How can this person have the nerve to come and ask for money? He's so thick-skinned to ask for 100 taels of silver. This 100 taels of silver is enough to buy a few girls. Isn't that so? Even if the Zheng family is rich, they won't be able to withstand such torment. They gave him 100 taels of silver this time. Who knows, he might come again next time. You can't be too accommodating for thick-skinned people. The more accommodating you are, the more unscrupulous they will be. Sai, what kind of person is this? Young Master Zheng is right. They give it to you out of kindness, but it's our duty not to give it. Since he said he won't give it, then he can't cause trouble in the Zheng family? Chapter 22:14. Haha, he's too embarrassed to reprimand young Master Zheng. Don't embarrass yourself here. Young Master Zheng is too polite. If it were me, I would have thrown him far away to prevent him from shouting at the door. So annoying. Zhao Wenshui was dumbfounded when he heard the people around him criticizing him. He thought that his miserable appearance would attract the sympathy of the crowd. This way he could use the crowd to pressure young Master Zheng so that the Zheng family would have no choice but to fork out the 100 taels of silver. However, instead of criticizing young Master Zheng, they started criticizing him one by one. These people's words were abnormally unpleasant. Although Zhao Wenshui was thick-skinned, he could not withstand the abuse of so many people. But if he were to leave just like that, not only would he not receive any benefits, but he would also be injured all over his body. He was not willing to accept this. Zhao Wenshui did not comment on the criticism of the people around him. Instead, he pulled a long face and started shouting on the ground. You hit me. You're being unreasonable. You hurt me so badly. Even if you don't give me 100 taels of silver, you should at least give me some money for medical expenses and nourishment, right? Now he wanted as much as he could. It was better than not receiving any money at all. The crowd looked at Zhao Wenshui's ruffian behavior. Other than feeling ashamed, they could not do anything to him. Young Master Zheng's face darkened. It was obvious that he was unwilling to pay. Zhao Wenshui continued to cry and make a scene. If you don't pay for my medical expenses, I'll stay at the entrance of the Zheng family's house and not leave. If you provoke me, I'll sue you to the authorities. If the authorities handle it, you'll get into trouble too. Young Master Zheng could not help but sneer when he heard Zhao Wenshui's words. Indeed, one could not reason with such a shameless person. How dare he threaten him now? The Zheng family was not to be trifled with. Young Master Zheng ordered his subordinates, throw him away. Don't let him stay at the entrance of the Zheng family's house. Throw him out when he crawls over here. The servants of the Zheng family responded. They walked to Zhao Wenshui and lifted Zhao Wenshui up. Zhao Wenshui and the others were stunned. Seeing that these people had lifted him up, he struggled a few times. Unfortunately, his injured body was no match for the tall and strong servants of the Zheng family. He could not break free at all and could only let these servants carry him away. Zhao Wenshui shouted at Zhao Jing. Jing, save your father. Jing, you can't watch your father die, can you? I raised you single-handedly. No matter what, I'm still your father. You can't just ignore me, right? Looking at Zhao Wenshui's pitiful appearance, Zhao Jinger's heart ached, but she also felt that she had to be ruthless. Otherwise, Zhao Wenshui's actions would definitely implicate her and she might be chased away by the Zheng family. She was already married. Once she was chased away by the Zheng family, what should she do? Facing young Zheng Wenshui, Zhao Wenshui was carried far away, and the people who were watching the show also dispersed. Zhao Jing sighed. She glanced in the direction where Zhao Wenshui was carried away and turned to enter the Zheng family's house. Her behavior had already told others. She would not care about Zhao Wenshui's father anymore. Young Master Zheng hid the displeasure in his eyes. He flicked his sleeves and snorted. Then he turned and entered the Zheng family's house. Chapter 22:15. Her second uncle was too shameless. How could he do such a thing? His daughter was married. According to the ancient customs, he shouldn't ask his daughter for money unless she was willing to give it to him. Zhao Yun'er knew that although Zhao Jin'er seemed to have married well, she was just a concubine to the Zheng family. How could a concubine have any say in the family? Young Master Zheng was indeed polite to Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but sympathize with Zhao Jin'er. What kind of father did she have? He was completely cheating his own daughter. If her father was like this, Zhao Yun'er would have cut ties with Zhao Wenhua long ago. Fortunately, although her father did some wrong things in the past, at least he was fine now. Moreover, he was considered a responsible man. Compared to Zhao Wenshui, Zhao Wenhua was much better. Zhao Yun'er sighed slightly and urged Xiao Mao to follow the family Qin servants. Zhao Wenshui was her second uncle after all. She didn't want to care about him and let Zhao Wenshui learn his lesson and die outside. However, she was also afraid that Zhao Wenshui would really die. After all, Zhao Wenshui was a human life. Two villains suddenly appeared in Zhao Yun'er's heart. One of them asked her why she was so soft-hearted. Wouldn't it be better to let someone like Zhao Wenshui die? The other one said that no matter how much of an animal Zhao Wenshui was, he was still a human life. She had been a public servant in the 21st century for more than 10 years. She couldn't forget her original intention and watch others die. What was more important than the people in this world? No matter how bad Zhao Wenshui was, he didn't do many outrageous things. He was just a weirdo. In a dilemma, Zhao Yun'er decided to save Zhao Wenshui's life first for his father's sake. The servants of the Qin clan still followed Zhao Wenshui for a few hundred meters. When they arrived outside a market where there were not many people, they threw Zhao Wenshui onto the ground. Zhao Wenshui hadn't fully recovered from his injuries. After being thrown to the ground again, he lay on the ground and couldn't get up. However, the Zheng family servants didn't care about Zhao Wenshui's life. After throwing Zhao Wenshui to the ground, they warned Zhao Wenshui, "You'd better not go over there again. Otherwise you will suffer. If you really don't want to live, go ahead and try. Don't blame others if you break an arm or a leg." Zhao Wenshui was frightened and didn't dare to say anything else. He couldn't say anything else and could only curse Zhao Jin'er and the Zheng family in his heart. In addition to feeling wronged, he also felt that his body was in great pain. He lay on the ground and wailed like a child. "This is too much of a bully. How can you do this to me? Oh, my wife is gone, my daughter is ignoring me, and I have no money. How am I going to live my life? I might as well die today. Once and for all, I won't have so many problems in the future. God, what sin have I committed? Why are you doing this to me? Am I not pitiful enough now? You only know how to bully people. When will you stop bullying me? Oh, mother, it hurts. I can't get up. Mother, come and save me. Your son is dying." Zhao Yun'er, who was not far away, looked at Zhao Wenshui crying so sadly and was speechless. Chapter 22:16. Besides, today's incident was entirely his own fault. Who could he blame? If he hadn't gone looking for trouble, would he have suffered so much? Looking at Zhao Wenshui lying on the ground like a dead dog, Zhao Yun'er didn't have a trace of sympathy. She only felt that Zhao Wenshui deserved it. After this ordeal, presumably Zhao Wenshui wouldn't dare to cause trouble in the Zheng family in the future. Zhao Jin'er would be able to live a peaceful life for a while. Zhao Yun'er got off the donkey cart and walked towards Zhao Wenshui, who was crying on the ground with snot and tears. "Second uncle!" Zhao Yun'er shouted. Zhao Wenshui looked up in surprise. He didn't expect Zhao Yun'er to be there. As an elder, he naturally felt embarrassed to cry like this in front of Zhao Yun'er, so he quickly wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes. At least he could save some face for himself. Then he asked Zhao Yun'er with some joy, "Yun'er girl, why are you here? You didn't leave me behind? I knew that girl, you have a sharp tongue but a soft heart. You would never abandon your second uncle." Zhao Yun'er rolled her eyes. "Second uncle, I just happened to pass by and saw you. I didn't mean anything else." Zhao Wenshui's heart suddenly sank. He asked weakly, "Then Yun'er girl, you don't care about me? You really don't want to take me back to the village?" Zhao Yun'er didn't say anything. Zhao Wenshui cried and complained to Zhao Yun'er with a begging face. "Yun'er girl, look at your second uncle being beaten up so pitifully. You have to take me back to the village. Otherwise, I won't be able to get up and will die on the streets." Zhao Yun'er replied impatiently, Okay, second uncle, stop talking. I'll take you back to the village, okay? I really admire Zhao Wenshui. I don't know who this man learned from. He's as long-winded as a woman. No, the women in this class were not as talkative as Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yun'er gratefully. At this time, when he was at his most helpless, he thought that the person who helped him was his niece. Zhao Yun'er looked up and met Zhao Wenshui's eyes. His affectionate eyes made Zhao Yun'er shiver and quickly look away. Zhao Wenshui was moved to tears. He held Zhao Yun'er's hand and said, Yun'er girl, you are really a filial child. If second uncle can save my life this time, it will be all thanks to you. In the future, second uncle will be very grateful to you and repay your kindness. Zhao Yun'er was a little uncomfortable with Zhao Wenshui's words. The corners of her mouth twitched a few times. Second uncle, it's fine as long as you don't make trouble for me. I don't dare to ask for your repayment. Zhao Wenshui's heart was pierced by Zhao Yun'er's words, but it didn't stop him from being grateful to Zhao Yun'er. It wasn't easy to help Zhao Wenshui onto the donkey cart. Zhao Yun'er was so tired that she was sweating profusely. Zhao Wenshui lay weakly on the donkey cart. Because his muscles and bones were injured from the fall, he couldn't move his entire body. After a period of continuous injuries, the old injuries had not healed, and new injuries had appeared. It was even more difficult to recover. Zhao Wenshui almost lost his life. It seemed that in the following days, this second uncle of his would not have the energy to jump around and cause trouble. Zhao Wenshui reaped the consequences of his own actions. He couldn't blame anyone else. Originally his family was fine. It was because he couldn't let go of his lust and couldn't control that thing that a complete family was broken. Chapter 22:17. Zhao Wenshui lay on Zhao Jiner's donkey cart, feeling a little lost about the future. All his previous ideas were based on the money that Zhao Jiner gave him. Now that this foundation was gone, all his previous ideas had to be dispelled. Spending money to buy a wife to take care of him was no longer a dream. In the future, it would be difficult for him to not starve to death and take care of himself and Zhao Tianyu. Although he still had some money left in his hands, and he was given some land when they separated from the family. But if he continued like this, he could only sit and eat. The money in his hands was spent very quickly, and it would be easily spent. Zhao Wenshui began to regret. What kind of bastard things had he done? If he hadn't separated from Li Chuan, perhaps he could have endured. Now he had a feeling that he wouldn't be able to endure until the end. The more Zhao Wenshui thought about it, the more he couldn't help but cry. Just like before, he cried very sadly. But before, in front of Zhao Yun'er, Zhao Wenshui didn't dare to cry. Now that he had put down his pride, he didn't care so much. Zhao Yun'er was very upset by Zhao Wenshui, but when she saw Zhao Wenshui's pitiful appearance, she couldn't tell Zhao Wenshui to shut up at this time, could she? She was afraid that if she scolded Zhao Wenshui, he would feel more wronged, and then even more sad, crying even harder. Zhao Yun'er sighed and whispered to Zhao Wenshui's ear, Second uncle, I don't know if I should say this. Zhao Wenshui wiped his nose and sobbed, Yun'er girl, if you have something to say, just say it. Anyway, second uncle is already like this. What else is there to say? I can bear it. After Zhao Wenshui finished speaking, he touched his chest and waited for Zhao Yun'er to criticize him. Zhao Yun'er was slightly stunned. She felt that this kind of Zhao Wenshui made her a little uncomfortable. Why did he become a little different? Well, this kind of Zhao Wenshui didn't seem so annoying. Instead, it was cute. Zhao Yun'er felt that she must be hallucinating. She hurriedly cleared her throat and said, Second uncle, if you knew this would happen, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. Everyone has to be responsible for their own actions. What you did today was your own doing, so you can't blame anyone. Crying wouldn't solve the problem. It could only be said to vent the emotions in her heart. You have to think about the future and think about what you should do in the future. He couldn't just live on in a daze. If I were you, I'd work hard in a down-to-earth manner. He still had a few mu of land in his hands. As long as he worked hard, he would definitely have enough food every year. At the very least, he wouldn't starve to death. If there was work to be done on weekdays, he could also work for others to earn money. If you can bear hardships and work hard, life will not treat you badly. Listening to Zhao Yun'er's words, it was the first time that Zhao Wenshui had heard these great principles. She didn't expect her niece to be so knowledgeable. She spoke so eloquently as if she was talking to those gentlemen. Zhao Wenshui sobbed and asked Zhao Yun'er in a choked voice, Last Yun'er, if I work hard in the future, will my life really become better? Of course, second uncle. Look at me. Before I met the heir, I relied on my own efforts to earn a lot of money and live the life I have today. If I didn't work hard, would I have gotten those things for nothing? Zhao Yun'er raised her eyebrows and asked in return. Chapter 22:18. Zhao Yun'er's words ignited a glimmer of hope in his heart. He had never been as determined as he was now. Yun'er, you're right. It seems like I have to work harder in the future. Zhao Wenshui stopped crying. He seemed to be saying this to Zhao Yun'er, but also to himself. Zhao Yun'er might feel that this was normal if someone else said it, but it felt out of place when it came from Zhao Wenshui. Could it be that Zhao Wenshui was enlightened after being beaten up? Could he be enlightened by a few words from her? It shouldn't be that easy. Zhao Yun'er wondered if Zhao Wenshui was just lamenting for a moment and would forget what she said after he recovered. It was rare for Zhao Wenshui to say something like this, so she couldn't possibly discourage him. The corners of Zhao Yun'er's mouth twitched slightly and she asked, "Second uncle, are you stimulated? Have you thought it through and decided to work harder?" After asking this, Zhao Yun'er felt a little regretful. Was she too direct with her question? Fortunately, Zhao Wenshui's expression was as calm as usual. "Sigh. Yun'er, I'm not upset. I'm just lamenting why I'm still so miserable at my age. I didn't do anything that offended the heavens. How could the heavens treat me like this? Since I can't blame the heavens, can't I reflect on myself? Don't mention it. Thinking about what I've done, I'm just looking for trouble for myself. Now that I'm living such a hard life, there's no one around to take care of me. Isn't it all my own doing? I want to be like before too. How easy would it be to live shamelessly? In the past, there were people who cared about my shamelessness. Is there anyone who cares about me now? Who am I being shameless for? Previously, when I was injured, your grandmother took care of me. I was already despised enough. I'm really afraid that I won't be able to survive this time. Little girl do you think I'll die? If I can survive this time, I swear to the heavens that I will be a good person and turn over a new leaf." After listening to Zhao Wenshui's nagging, Zhao Yun'er didn't interrupt Zhao Wenshui for the first time. Zhao Wenshui's way of thinking was indeed better than the average person's, but it was not too late for Zhao Wenshui to think it through and realize the mistakes of his actions. There was still a possibility of salvation. As the saying goes, a prodigal son turning over a new leaf is more precious than gold. It was not easy for him to turn over a new leaf, so he had to be given a chance. Zhao Yun'er patted Zhao Wenshui's shoulder and said to Zhao Wenshui, "Second uncle, as long as you don't live as muddle-headed as before and become a good person, our old Zhao family will definitely give you a chance." Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yun'er with a touched expression. "Yun'er, only now did second uncle realize that you are the best niece." The corner of her mouth twitched. "Second uncle, I'm just telling the truth. You are my second uncle. I'm happy for you that you can turn over a new leaf." Sigh. Zhao Wenshui sighed heavily. Zhao Yun'er frowned and asked, "Second uncle, what's wrong with you?" "Sigh Yun'er, why didn't I figure it out earlier? If I had figured it out earlier, I wouldn't have been despised by the whole family. Your second aunt wouldn't have left me. Now that I'm divorced, I can't expect to marry another wife anyway. Your second aunt is also heartbroken by me. She definitely won't care about me anymore." Chapter 22:19. That's easy, second uncle. There's still a chance. What chance? Although second aunt's heart is broken, she's still worried about Tianyu. If you can really turn over a new leaf as you said and treat second aunt well, in my opinion, as long as you show your sincerity, second aunt will forgive you. Then she will come back to the second branch and live with you. Zhao Wenshui's eyes lit up. "Yun'er, is it really possible for second aunt to come back?" "Yes, but this time, second uncle, if you only talk about it but don't put it into action and don't really treat second aunt well and let her feel your sincerity, then she might not be willing to come back with you." Zhao Wenshui nodded. "That's good. I will definitely treat second aunt well and treat her well in the future." Zhao Yun'er nodded. "Yes, that's good." On the way back after Zhao Yun'er's advice, Zhao Wenshui felt that he had a new life to look forward to. He had to heal his injuries first. Once he recovered, he would go find Li Chuang and ask Li Chuang to come back and live with him. Then he would work hard to earn money, like his third brother's family, and slowly make their lives prosperous. On the way back, Zhao Yun'er's mood was very complicated. She prayed that Zhao Wenshui could really straighten out his thinking and become a better person. At least this way, old Zhao's family would have one less weirdo and their lives would be much more peaceful. In less than half an hour, Zhao Yun'er returned to the village. Because Zhao Wenshui's injuries were too serious, she could only send Zhao Wenshui back to old Zhao's house first. As soon as she arrived at old Zhao's house, new things happened. In the courtyard, Xinpan stood in the same place, wiping her tears with a handkerchief and crying to Feng Zhangxia, "Mother, you know that gold hairpin was my dowry from my mother. It's very valuable. How could it be lost at home? I searched everywhere but couldn't find it. Also, I remember that it was on the dressing table. How could it suddenly disappear?" Feng Zhangxia was also anxious. Although the gold hairpin belonged to Xinpan was her daughter-in-law. Xinpan's things belonged to the first branch. She had to know why it went missing. "Pan, are you sure? You really can't find it?" Feng Zhangxia asked with a frown. Xinpan nodded, "Mother, it's really not here. I checked it several times and was very sure of it before I told you." Feng Zhangxia was anxious and muttered to herself, "Is it possible that someone stole it? Mother, I also think that someone stole it. Otherwise, my golden hairpin can't possibly grow legs and fly by itself, right?" Feng Zhangxia lowered her eyes and said, "But we don't usually have outsiders in our courtyard. If someone stole it, could it be that it was done by one of our own? How could that be? Our family is honest and clean. No one would do such a dirty thing." When the other members of old Zhao's family heard the commotion, they all gathered in the courtyard. It was a big deal that Xinpan lost her gold hairpin because a gold hairpin could only be worth a few taels of silver. That much money was enough for a villager to live for a year. They had to treat it seriously. Chapter 22:20. Qin Hongzhao said, "Could it be that someone accidentally took Panner's hairpin and forgot to return it, causing some sort of misunderstanding?" "That's possible. Did anyone go to Panner's room? Did you see Panner's golden hairpin?" Zhao Baoshan asked the other people in the courtyard. Everyone shook their heads, indicating that they hadn't seen it. At this time, Hua Chunhua couldn't help but ask, "Hey Hui, last night you showed me a golden hairpin to see if it looked good. Did that hairpin belong to Panner?" After Hua Chunhua finished speaking, everyone in old Zhao's courtyard looked at Zhao Xinhui, thinking that Zhao Xinhui had taken it. When Zhao Xinhui saw these people's gazes, she felt that they suspected that she had stolen it. She was very unhappy. "Mother, what are you saying? How could it belong to Panner? I'm not so shameless as to steal someone else's things," Zhao Xinhui replied a little angrily. However, old Zhao's people still looked at her with suspicion and sizing her up. Zhao Xinhui was a little angry. She directly took out the golden hairpin and showed it to these people, lest they doubt her character and say that she was a thief. Zhao Xinhui handed the golden hairpin to Xinpan and asked Xinpan, "Pan girl, look at my golden hairpin. Is it your golden hairpin?" Xinpan shook her head, "No." Zhao Xinhui snorted and said to the others, "I already said it wasn't your golden hairpin, but you still stared at me. Do you believe me now? It's just a golden hairpin for a son. I have a lot of jewelry. I don't care about it and I won't steal it." Zhao Baoshan originally thought that the thief was his daughter, Zhao Xinhui. Now that he knew that he had wronged her, he couldn't help but feel a little guilty towards Zhao Xinhui. Xinpan's expression was a little awkward, but she still pulled her lips and flattered Zhao Xinhui. "Auntie really doesn't care for it. Compared to it, Auntie's golden hairpin looks much better." Zhao Xinhui smirked and said proudly, "Of course, I bought this hairpin from the Jubao Pavilion for more than 10 taels of silver." When old Zhao's family heard this, they couldn't help but gasp. No wonder this golden hairpin was so beautiful. It turned out that it cost so much money. Hua Chunhua happily asked, "Hui, was this golden hairpin a gift from the Qin Yuan?" "Yes." The smile on Hua Chunhua's face deepened. Qin Yuan is such an honest child. He's really good to you. Other things aside, the fact that they are willing to buy you such expensive jewelry as soon as they earn money shows that it is very rare." Zhao Xinhui nodded. "Mother, Qin Yuan is very good to me. You see, I'll definitely have a good life if I follow him." Hua Chunhua nodded heavily. Yes, that's good, that's good." Seeing that the topic had gone off track, Xinpan's lips twitched and she quickly pulled the topic back. "Since we both said that we didn't take it, could it be that my golden hairpin was stolen by someone else?" Feng Zhangxia shook her head. "It's even more unlikely that it was someone else. Who would dare to come to our old Zhao's house so openly to steal things? If you ask me, I think we should search everyone's rooms first." Hua Chunhua was a little unhappy. "Eldest daughter-in-law, what do you mean by that? Are you suspecting our own family again?" Chapter 22:21. Hua Chunhua hurriedly cleared her name. "Eldest daughter-in-law, I didn't steal it and neither did your youngest aunt. If you want to investigate, You should check who entered Pan'er's room and whether or not they took it away. After Huo Chunhua finished speaking, Feng Zhangxia said, Mother, no one will admit to this. For the sake of fairness, everyone should search. Huo Chunhua was unwilling. No, I won't let you search my room anyway. It's just a gold hairpin. At my age I wouldn't do such a thing. Chen Zhozha also said, That's right, eldest sister-in-law, searching is a bit too much. Think about who entered Pan'er's room first, or who in our family is more likely to do such a thing. After Chen Zhozha said this, Feng Zhangxia's eyes turned, and she patted her thigh and hurriedly said, I know who stole it. Old Zhao's family members' gazes fell on Feng Zhangxia, and they all asked curiously, Eldest sister-in-law who stole it? That's right, who in our family is it? Who would do such a thing? Feng Zhangxia said with a firm expression, Who in our family would do such a thing? Who is the most shameless person in our family? Think about it carefully. After Feng Zhangxia said this, everyone was reminded. Currently, Zhao Wenshui was the only one in old Zhao's family who wasn't present. Usually, Zhao Wenshui was the only one who liked to do such shameless things. Unfortunately, Zhao Wenshui had something to do today, so he didn't ask. If Zhao Wenshui was present, he would definitely be able to interrogate him. Zhao Baoshan asked, Where did second brother go today? I heard him say that he went to town. Feng Zhangxia was now even more certain that Zhao Wenshui was the one who stole it. Father, the way I see it, Pan'er's golden hairpin was stolen by second brother. He's too unusual today. Why did he come to town? I think he took Pan'er's golden hairpin to sell stolen goods and went to the pawn shop to exchange it for money, Feng Zhangxia said through gritted teeth. The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. The second brother of hers was really too much. Previously, he had touched her and was taught a lesson, yet he still didn't learn his lesson. Now he stretched out his hand and had the idea of stealing things, acting like a thief. When Zhao Wenshui returned to old Zhao's house, he had to interrogate him and teach Zhao Wenshui a lesson. Otherwise he would not be able to vent his anger. The other members of old Zhao's family also began to suspect Zhao Wenshui. After all, Feng Zhangxia was right. No one else in old Zhao's family would do such a thing except for Zhao Wenshui. Huo Chunhua spat on the ground and angrily cursed, This second brother is too inhumane. He's already so old, yet he still doesn't know when to stop. How did I give birth to such a son? If something happens to him, my wife will never talk to him again. This kind of person is a scourge in this world and he'll harm his own family. Zhao Baoshan had a serious expression on his face. He looked at Feng Zhangxia and Xinpan and sighed. After all, Zhao Wenshui was his son. As a father, he couldn't bear to steal things like this. He could only say that he didn't teach his son well in the past. It was the father's fault for not teaching his son well, so he had to bear a certain amount of responsibility. This time, Zhao Wenshui reached out to his own family. Who knew if Zhao Wenshui would become a habit of stealing things and steal things from other people in the future? Chapter 22. Eldest daughter-in-law, when second brother comes back, I will ask him clearly. If he really stole the hairpin and did such a sneaky thing, I will definitely punish him. Feng Zhangxia nodded in response. Father, as long as you don't side with our eldest branch, I won't complain. Ai. Zhao Baoshan sighed heavily again. Thus, the family stood in the courtyard and waited for Zhao Wenshui to come back. At this time, Zhao Yun'er's carriage stopped outside old Zhao's courtyard, but these people didn't notice. Zhao Yun'er also heard their conversation just now. Zhao Wenshui, who was lying on the donkey cart, had a bitter expression. When Zhao Yun'er turned her head and looked at him suspiciously, Zhao Wenshui immediately cried out, Little Yun'er, you have to believe your second uncle. Your second uncle was indeed a bit absurd in the past, but I really didn't steal Pan'er's hairpin. Zhao Wenshui finally understood the feeling of being doubted and distrusted by the whole family. Now that he had fallen to this point, everyone thought he was a filthy person. Whenever something bad happened in the family, the first thing they would think of was him. This feeling wasn't good. Being doubted by everyone, Zhao Wenshui knew that even if he wanted to argue and explain, these people would still doubt him. If he hadn't done those things in the past, he wouldn't be doubted like this now. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yun'er's eyes and felt a bit wronged. However, Zhao Wenshui's eyes were very clear. Zhao Yun'er was in a daze for a moment and couldn't help but believe Zhao Wenshui's words. She believed that Xinpan's hairpin wasn't stolen by Zhao Wenshui. However, there were only a few people in old Zhao's family, so the possibility of someone else stealing it wasn't high. Old Zhao's family members couldn't be blamed for looking at Zhao Wenshui suspiciously. After all, Zhao Wenshui had a criminal record. Zhao Wenshui repeated his words aggrievedly. He held Zhao Yun'er's hand and said sincerely, "Yun'er, believe me. I really didn't steal it this time." Zhao Yun'er nodded and replied, "Yes, second uncle, I believe you." It was the first time that Zhao Wenshui heard someone say this to him. He couldn't help but feel happy. He was almost moved to tears by Zhao Yun'er's words. He held Zhao Yun'er's hand excitedly and said to Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, you are really a good child. However, second uncle didn't let you down this time. I really didn't steal Pan'er's hairpin." Zhao Yun'er sighed slightly, "Second uncle, it's useless for me to believe you. You have to make the rest of old Zhao's family believe you. You have to show evidence to explain yourself. Otherwise, even if they can't find the hairpin on you, you will still think that you stole it." Zhao Wenshui suddenly felt like he was deflated. There was an indescribable sadness in his heart. However, he knew that Zhao Yun'er's words were reasonable. Zhao Yun'er cleared her throat and said helplessly, "Second uncle, whether we go back sooner or later, we have to face it. Let's go back now." "Okay." Zhao Wenshui responded helplessly. Zhao Yun'er drove Xiao Mao to old Zhao's house. As soon as they saw Zhao Wenshui lying on the donkey cart, they didn't care about Zhao Wenshui's injuries. They came up and asked Zhao Wenshui, "Second brother, did you steal Pan'er's hairpin?" Chapter 22-23. Zhao Baoshan was a little better, but he still thought it was Zhao Wenshui. He said to Zhao Wenshui, "Second brother, explain this matter clearly. Did you have anything to do with Pan'er losing her golden hairpin?" "Zhao Wenshui, you bastard, did you do those sneaky things again? Hurry up and return Pan'er's hairpin, or else I'll skin you alive." Zhao Wenshui was so angry that he grabbed Zhao Wenshui's collar and said angrily to Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui was surrounded by old Zhao's people and couldn't take it anymore. At this moment he felt even more sullen. If he did it, it would be fine. No matter what the consequences were, he deserved it. But this time he really didn't do it, and these people treated him like this. It really made him feel bitterly disappointed. He did do ridiculous things before, but why didn't they give him an explanation? Why didn't they give him a chance to believe him? With Zhao Wenshui grabbing his collar, Zhao Wenshui felt a little breathless and his body hurt terribly. "Big brother, be gentler, it hurts so much." Zhao Wenshui struggled. Zhao Yun'er saw Zhao Wenshui being beaten and felt a little sorry for Zhao Wenshui. She said to Zhao Wenshui, "Eldest uncle, second uncle is injured. You should be gentler. Otherwise, you'll have to take responsibility if something happens." Zhao Wenshui frowned. Only then did he notice that Zhao Wenshui's body was stained with blood. What happened to him? Hua Chunhua couldn't help but ask. Before Zhao Yun'er could answer, Feng Zhangxia snorted coldly, "Mother, do you still need to ask?" It must be that the heavens couldn't stand second brother's sneaky behavior and severely punished him. Zhao Wenshui added, "Yes, that's right. Second younger brother has done such beastly things. He will definitely be punished by the heavens. Who would have thought that retribution would come so quickly? The heavens have dealt with it for us first." Feng Zhangxia continued, "RD, quickly tell me the truth. Where did my Pan'er girl's fork go? Hand over the hairpin." "Hurry up." Zhao Wenshui tightened his grip on Zhao Wenshui's collar. Zhao Wenshui felt like he was about to suffocate, and his body was about to fall apart. If this continued, he might lose his life. She replied in a weak voice, I really didn't. This is Pan'er's matter, it has nothing to do with me. No matter how bold I am, I wouldn't dare to enter Pan'er's room, let alone steal from her room." "Second brother, you still don't want to admit it at this point? Are you still trying to quibble? Tell me, other than you, who else in our family could have said it?" Feng Zhangxia angrily glared at Zhao Wenshui. She looked as if she wanted to eat Zhao Wenshui alive. "It wasn't me. I swear to the heavens that it really wasn't me. If I stole it, then I will be struck by lightning and die a horrible death," Zhao Wenshui swore. People in ancient times were superstitious. They felt that if a curse was a lie, they would really be punished by the heavens. Therefore, most people definitely didn't dare to curse this kind of oath. But this time Zhao Wenshui made it sound so serious. He even said that he would be struck by lightning. This oath was a bit too vicious. Old Zhao's family looked at Zhao Wenshui's sincere expression as he swore. It really didn't seem like he was lying. Could it be that Shin Pan'er's golden hairpin really wasn't stolen by Zhao Wenshui? Feng Zhangxia said in a deep voice, "Second younger brother, if it wasn't you, why did you go to town today? You obviously went to sell the stolen goods." Chapter 22-24. You said you didn't, then explain why you went to town today. Yes, you must give a reason or I won't spare you. Zhao Wenshui was frightened and hurriedly said, I went to find Jing today. I don't have a wife at home, and no one to serve me. Last time I asked Jing to give me money to buy a wife for me, but she didn't agree. This time I went to the town to look for her, thinking that she would give me money if I visited her. Who knew that not only did the Zheng family refuse to give me money, but they also threw me out directly. Now I'm injured all over. Big brother, sister-in-law, father, mother, can't you see my injuries? I'm not lying. Old Zhao's family reconsidered. Coupled with Zhao Wenshui's injuries, it seemed that Zhao Wenshui was telling the truth. Zhao Baoshan angrily reprimanded Zhao Wenshui, second brother, I told you not to ask Jing for money, but you went to town to ask for money again. Don't you feel ashamed? Father, I know I was confused. I shouldn't have done it. I was wrong. I will never do it again. Zhao Wenshui promised. Seeing Zhao Wenshui admit his mistake so quickly, Zhao Baoshan was a little uncomfortable. For a moment he didn't know how to reprimand Zhao Wenshui. The first branch was still a little suspicious of Zhao Wenshui. Second brother, other than your injuries, do you have any other proof? Who knows if you pawned my Panna's golden hairpin while you were at it? Sister-in-law Yun'er can prove that she was the one who sent me to town today. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yun'er, and the first branch's eyes also fell on Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er nodded and replied, second uncle was indeed with me today. I didn't see him go to the pawn shop. He was doing something else. Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, Big brother, sister-in-law, did you hear that? Yun'er is here to prove it to me. Old Zhao's family might not believe what other people said, but they believed what Zhao Yun'er said. Because Zhao Yun'er and Zhao Wenshui didn't have much of a friendship, and she didn't even get along well with Zhao Wenshui. It was impossible for her to speak up for Zhao Wenshui. Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshui were silent for a while. Then they said, that can't prove that you didn't steal it. We still have to check it carefully. Let's search your body first, then your house. If we can't find anything, then it means you didn't steal anything. Zhao Wenshui didn't object to this suggestion. Anyway, he really didn't do it. Even if Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshui searched him, they wouldn't find anything. It was a good opportunity to prove his innocence. Okay. Big brother, sister-in-law, then search my body first, then my house. As Zhao Wenshui spoke, he took Feng Zhangxia's hand and let Feng Zhangxia check his body. He didn't think too much. He was just impatient. In Feng Zhangxia's eyes, Zhao Wenshui was beastly and wanted to take advantage of her to hold her hand. Hence, her face darkened and she glared at Zhao Wenshui unhappily. Do you want to die? You just want to take advantage of people. Zhao Wenshui's face darkened. Zhao Wenshui, if you have such dirty thoughts again, I'll chop off your hand. Chapter 22-25. However, Zhao Wenshui was too lazy to listen to Zhao Wenshui's explanation. He felt that Zhao Wenshui was up to no good, so he scolded Zhao Wenshui. If you still don't behave at this time, I'll chop off your hand later. Let's see what else you can touch in the future. Zhao Wenshui felt very aggrieved. It was fine if he was scolded for having such intentions in the past, but why was he still scolded when he no longer had such intentions? Sob, he was too pitiful. Big brother. I really didn't do it on purpose and I won't dare to do it again. Since sister-in-law can't search my body, big brother, you can do it. Hurry up and check. Although Zhao Wenshui was a little angry, he knew the purpose of today's visit. A pair of rough hands searched Zhao Wenshui's body. He searched his entire body, even his crotch, but he still couldn't find the golden hairpin. He originally thought that Zhao Wenshui had pawned the golden hairpin and exchanged it for silver, but Zhao Wenshui also didn't have any silver on him. Other than a few copper coins that he had brought with him, there was nothing else. Zhao Wenshui frowned, somewhat puzzled and suspicious. Could it be that this golden hairpin really wasn't stolen by Zhao Wenshui? Although he felt that Zhao Wenshui was the one who stole it, it was useless if he couldn't find it. Feng Zhangxia also asked with concern, Tianhu's father, did you find anything? Zhao Wenshui shook his head. No. How is that possible? Tianhu's father, search again and touch a few more times to see if second brother hid it somewhere. You have to search carefully and don't miss a single spot. Zhao Wenshui replied in a low voice, didn't you see that I've already searched everywhere? I even touched his crotch a few times. Where else could he have hidden it? Zhao Wenshui's words made the women present pause, feeling a little embarrassed. Zhao Yun, even tried to hold back her laughter. This man was touching another man's crotch. It was really interesting. Sob. No, she couldn't help but let her thoughts develop into a dirty place. Zhao Wenshi and Zhao Wenshui were blood brothers. What could happen between the two of them? Feng Zhangxia also coughed a few times in embarrassment. Since we can't find it on second brother's body, let's go to second brother's room to search. Alright, let's go look in the house. Yeah. They went into Zhao Wenshui's room and rummaged through the cabinets, but they still didn't find anything. At this point, the first branch could no longer suspect Zhao Wenshui. Everything must be based on evidence. They did not have any evidence, so they could not find anything. Plus, Zhao Wenshui had sworn an oath, so they could not blame Zhao Wenshui. But to lose a golden hairpin for no reason, there must be a problem somewhere. Shen Panner's eyes flickered. She walked up to Feng Zhangxia and said, "Mother, I don't think second uncle did this. Let's investigate who entered my room." Feng Zhangxia could only agree. Then we can only do that. If we still can't find anything, we have to report to Li Zheng that a thief broke into our village. Yeah. After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, she asked who entered Shen Panner's room yesterday and today. No matter what they did, they had to be searched. Normally, old Zhao's family would not enter Shen Panner's room. Other than Feng Zhangxia, only Jin Ju stood up. Feng Zhangxia said, "As her mother-in-law, I also have to be investigated. Fourth sister-in-law, help me search my room later." Chapter 22-26. As for Jin Ju, Feng Zhangxia asked curiously, "Ju, why did you go into Panner's room?" Without waiting for Jin Ju to explain, Shen Pan spoke before Jin Ju. "Mother, it's like this. Yesterday, I brought some pastries back from my in-law's house. Second sister-in-law was helping with this and that, so I had second sister-in-law go to my place to get a box of pastries. I also said a few words to second sister-in-law. At that time I was also there. Second sister-in-law definitely didn't have the opportunity to steal my golden hairpin, so don't search second sister-in-law's room later." Seeing Shen Pan speak up for her and trust her so much, Jin Ju felt a little touched. However, Feng Zhangxia said, "That won't do. Even if you believe me, you still have to search. Our old Zhao family only has so many people. Since the person who entered your room has to be searched, otherwise it's unfair to others." Jin Ju glanced at Feng Zhangxia, then at Shen Pan. She was already very touched that Shen Pan was willing to speak up for her. She couldn't make things difficult for Shen Pan because of this matter and cause more conflict between Shen Pan and Feng Zhangxia. Otherwise, she would always blame herself in the middle. Moreover, it was only a search of the room. It wasn't a big deal to tidy it up later. In any case, she didn't do such a sneaky thing. It was impossible to find Shen Pan's golden hairpin. If she didn't let others search her room, it would only make it more conspicuous. "Eldest sister-in-law, it's fine. Just let mother and the others search my room. I'll tidy it up later." Shen Pan nodded apologetically. Thus, the people from the fourth branch entered the first branch's room to search the golden hairpin, while the people from the first branch entered Jin Ju's room to search. Not long after, Feng Zhangxia came out of Jin Ju's room with a gloomy face. She held a golden hairpin in her hand and brought it to Shen Pan to ask, "Pan, girl, is this golden hairpin yours?" Shen Pan looked at the hairpin in Feng Zhangxia's hand and made a surprised expression. She covered her mouth and nodded in disbelief, then looked at Jin Ju. At the same time, Jin Ju was also stunned. How could this be? How could her mother have found a golden hairpin in her room? Did he make a mistake? She clearly didn't steal Shen Pan's hairpin, but she found it in her room. Everyone in old Zhao's family looked at Jin Ju. Jin Ju felt wronged and her throat choked for a moment. With a gloomy face, Feng Zhangxia asked Jin Ju in a displeased tone, "Little girl Ju, why don't you explain to me why this golden hairpin is in your room? Did you steal it?" Usually, Feng Zhangxia was very gentle to Jin Ju. This was the first time she spoke to Jin Ju in such a strict tone. Jin Ju's heart tightened. She shook her head innocently at Feng Zhangxia and said, "Mother, I didn't steal sister-in-law's hairpin. It's not me." Zhao Xinhui, who was at the side, sneered, "If it wasn't you, who else could it be? We've already found it in your house. What are you still trying to deny?" He usually looked honest, but it turned out that it was all an act. How could he have the nerve to do such a sneaky thing? What kind of daughter-in-law did our old Zhao bring back? Eldest sister-in-law Tianhu, there's something wrong with the way you two look at people. See, now you've seen it for yourself. Chapter 22-27. Zhao Xinhui had always disliked Jin Ju. Now that he caught Jin Ju committing a crime, he naturally scolded her. Feng Zhangxia listened to Zhao Xinhui's words and felt bitterly disappointed in Jin Ju. She used to like Jinju very much and thought that Jinju was a down-to-earth and honest child. She didn't expect that Jinju wasn't honest and actually did such a thing this time. Country people were most afraid of traitors. Jinju's behavior this time was really bad. If she hadn't personally searched Jinju's closet and found Shinpaner's golden hairpin, she wouldn't have believed that her second daughter-in-law was such a person. Jinju panicked even more. It wasn't me. It really wasn't me. Mother, sister-in-law, you have to believe me. I didn't steal it. Even if I was there, I would never steal sister-in-law's things. Zhao Xinhui sneered, little Jew, or don't pretend. Why wouldn't you know how to do it? You're a country bumpkin. Pan is the daughter of a rich family. How could you have seen such a good thing like a golden hairpin? In my opinion, you were blinded by greed and stole it. Jinju looked at the others and saw that old Zhao's family members were looking at her with disappointment and disdain. After all, the golden hairpin was found in her room and she was the only one who went into Shinpaner's room yesterday. No one would believe her even if she explained that she didn't steal it. People always believed what they saw. This feeling of being doubted and unable to explain was very uncomfortable. Jinju couldn't figure it out. She clearly didn't steal it. How could Shinpaner's golden hairpin be in her room? This matter was too fishy. It wasn't me. Can you believe me? I don't envy sister-in-law's things. Although my family was poor before, I knew what to take and what not to take. Stealing is the most shameful thing. I'm not that shameless. Jinju's voice carried a hint of sobbing. She tried hard to hold back her tears. Zhao Qianhu looked at his wife's pitiful appearance and took a deep breath. He stood beside Jinju and said to old Zhao's family members, I believe that Ju didn't steal it. Ju isn't that kind of person. Even if you give her something, she'll find all sorts of excuses to reject it, let alone take it personally. Zhao Xinhui sneered, Qianhu, as the saying goes, you may know a person for a long time without understanding their true nature. Don't be fooled by Ju. She might be one person in front of you and another behind your back. Zhao Qianhu still shook his head and said firmly, no, Ju is not such a person. She is my wife. We have been together for a long time. I know her character. Seeing Zhao Qianhu firmly protecting her, Jinju was very touched. It didn't matter if others suspected her. What Jinju was most afraid of was that Zhao Qianhu would suspect her like everyone else. Fortunately, Zhao Qianhu did not disappoint her. Even if everyone did not believe her, he still stood by her side. Then tell me what's with this golden hairpin? Why didn't they find it in other people's rooms but in yours? If she didn't steal it, who else could have stolen it? Shinpan also looked at Jinju with disappointment and said to Jinju, second sister-in-law, I treat you sincerely. How can you treat me like this? If you like my golden hairpin, you can tell me. At most, I will give it to you. But now you use such a dirty method. It's really disappointing. Chapter 22-28. Jinju's heart felt like it had been poked by something and it hurt so much. With tears in her eyes, Jinju looked at Shinpan, sister-in-law, I really didn't do it. I don't understand why the golden hairpin would appear in my room, but please believe me, I won't do such a thing. Shinpan sighed heavily, second sister-in-law, I also want to believe you, but tell me, how can I believe you now? If you didn't steal it, would it grow legs and fly into your room? Why didn't it be found in other people's rooms but in yours? Zhao Xinhui agreed, that's right, you still want to quibble at this point. Sister-in-law, you have to punish this kind of daughter-in-law, otherwise she will be lawless in the future and make our old Zhao family into a foul atmosphere. AI, it seems that I have to lock up my things properly in the future, lest you find a loophole. After all, it's hard to guard against a thief in the family. The most frightening thing is having your things stolen by someone in the family. Zhao Xinhui's humiliating words made Jinju feel ashamed. She was speechless and all her excuses seemed pale and powerless. That's right. Who told the golden hairpin to be found in her room? Feng Zhangsha's brows sank deeply and she sighed deeply. Jura, tell me, why did you steal Panner's golden hairpin? You have to be honest with me, otherwise I won't forgive you. Mother, I didn't do this, how can I explain it? I know everyone suspects me but I swear to the heavens, this matter has nothing to do with me. Shinpan pulled Feng Zhangsha's hand and said to her, Mother, let's just forget about this matter. After all, we are family. Second sister-in-law might have done this in a moment of confusion, so let's give her a chance, don't pursue it. How can that be? The act of stealing was too vile. How could he let it go so easily? Pan, Mother will give you an explanation. Feng Zhangsha questioned Jinju again. Jinju didn't do it. No matter how angry Feng Zhangxia was, Jinju still answered that she was innocent. Looking at Jinju's stubborn look, Feng Zhangxia was furious. What was wrong with our foresight back then? We didn't see through her and married such a daughter-in-law. God, how could you treat me like this? I thought I found an honest man, but in the end, his hands and feet are not clean. How am I going to live in the future? Feng Zhangxia cried angrily, making Jinju even more embarrassed. Zhao Qinhu looked at his wife and felt very distressed. He said to Feng Zhangxia, "Mother just believed you this time. Don't you know Ju Er's usual character?" "I also want to believe it, but Qinhu, tell Mother, did this golden hairpin grow legs and run into your room?" "Mother?" Zhao Qinhu naturally didn't know, so he couldn't give a reason. But he believed that this matter absolutely had nothing to do with Jinju. Shenpan pulled Feng Zhangxia's hand and said, "Mother, just listen to me. Forget it, don't pursue it anymore. It doesn't matter whether second sister-in-law stole it or not. The important thing is that the hairpin has been returned. At least it wasn't stolen by others and we lost a lot of money." Chapter 22-29. Feng Zhangxia frowned and asked, "Pan, girl, do you have any other ideas?" "Mother, I think there is a need for us to split up now. What second sister-in-law did was a bit too much. If they continued to live together, who knew what would happen? Now that second brother has a family, it is fine to split up. This way you won't have to worry about the future, right? Since second brother trusts second sister-in-law so much, I believe that they will be able to live a good life together." Hearing Shinpaner's words, the other members of old Zhao's family were stunned. How long had it been since the second branch had formed a family and they were already making a fuss about splitting up? This was definitely the first time in the village. Disregarding everything else, the other families would split up a long time after each branch had formed their own family. For example, when the third branch split up, a long time had passed and the children of the third branch had already grown up. However, there were very few families like Feng Zhangxia's who were making a fuss about splitting up. When Zhao Qinhu heard this, he looked at Shinpaner in disbelief. He never thought that Shinpaner would suggest splitting up. Wasn't her words confirming that Jinju had stolen something? When he thought about how his wife had been wronged by everyone, Zhao Qinhu felt even more indignant. The other members of old Zhao's family understood that splitting up now was not worth it for Zhao Qinhu. Usually, Zhao Qinhu did a lot of work and helped old Zhao's family in the first branch a lot. Zhao Tianlong was about to take the imperial examinations. Once he became a high-ranking official, wouldn't he be able to lead the first branch to live a good life? However, if they were to split up now, it would mean that Zhao Tianhu and Zhao Tianlong would have to live separately in the future. After Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, he would be able to lead his family to live a good life. However, he would not be able to lead Zhao Tianhu. Then wouldn't all of Zhao Tianhu's previous contributions be wasted and he would not be able to reap any benefits? Feng Zhangxia was also thinking about this matter. She did not understand what was going on. Even if Jinju did something wrong, Zhao Tianhu was still her son. As a mother, she naturally didn't want her son to have a hard life in the future. Once Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, the whole family would be able to enjoy life together. Seeing the conflicted look on Feng Zhangxia's face, Shinpaner felt a little anxious. Taking a deep breath, he pursed his lips and said to Feng Zhangxia, "Mother, I know that it's not a good idea to talk about splitting the family now, but there's no other way. If they didn't separate, what would happen if second sister-in-law did this kind of thing in the future? I can forget about it this time, but next time." Jinju said anxiously to Shinpan, "Sister-in-law, there won't be a next time. I'm not a thief. I won't steal." "Second sister-in-law, I also want to believe you, but..." Before Shinpaner could finish speaking, Zhao Xinhui chimed in, "Juer, who would dare to live with you like this? Then I think Pan is right, we should split up. Sister-in-law, don't hesitate anymore. Since this girl isn't being honest, then just ignore her. If we split up, at least we can have some peace and quiet." This. Feng Zhangxia frowned. Faced with the family's disbelief and overbearing attitude, Jinju felt very wronged. Thinking about how she was being disdained, she took a deep breath and said, "Mother, since sister-in-law doesn't want to live with me, why don't we split up? Tianhu and I will live alone." Chapter 22-30. Feng Zhangxia sighed heavily. "All right, since the two of you are willing, then let's split up. In the future we won't have anything to do with you. You can do whatever you want. As for the theft of the golden hairpin today, since Pan doesn't pursue it, I won't pursue it either. This matter ends here." After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, Zhao Wenshi felt helpless. He wanted to live a good life as a family. Sometimes, in the face of special circumstances, it was better to split up. Just like old Zhao's family in the past, when everyone split up, there would be fewer conflicts and disturbances, and their lives would be more comfortable. There was no need for them to make a fuss and be unable to live peacefully every day. Since Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshi agreed, the family naturally decided to split up. Feng Zhangxia took inventory of everything in the house, then gave the second branch's share to them. Xinpan was generous. She didn't want the farmland and gave it all to the second branch. For Xinpan, farmland was dispensable. In any case, the Xin family was rich and didn't care about 1 or 2 mu of farmland. Most importantly, she and Zhao Tianlong didn't know how to farm, so it was better to be generous and give it to the second branch to gain a good reputation. When Zhao Tianlong found out, he would probably praise her for being virtuous and treating his brothers well. Only those rural women who didn't have money on hand would haggle over every ounce. In addition, once Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official and went to live in the city, the family's farmland would naturally be sold. It was better to give it to the second branch as a favor. After receiving such a favor from the first branch, at least they wouldn't have to take advantage of others in the future. Otherwise, when the first branch became rich and the second branch wanted to trouble them, it wouldn't be good for them to refuse. Feng Zhangxia gave some of the money in the house to Zhao Tianhu, 200 or 300 copper coins. If it wasn't for Zhao Wenshi compensating them with more than 10 taels of silver, the first branch wouldn't have much money left. In the end, the second branch received a total of 200 or 300 copper coins, 2 mu of paddy fields, 1 mu of dry land, a house, some farming tools and food. These things weren't little, so Zhao Tianhu and Jin Ju were very satisfied. As long as the two of them were hardworking and lived well, they would definitely be able to eat and wear well. They wouldn't starve to death. After separating from the family, they started to move their things. Jin Ju was in low spirits. She was still thinking about the golden hairpin. She really didn't know what was going on, but she couldn't prove her innocence. Seeing Jin Ju's worried look, Zhao Tianhu patted Jin Ju's shoulder and said softly, "Ju, don't think too much. No matter how others don't believe you, as long as I believe you, it's fine. Now the two of us should pack up and start a new life. Ju, as long as I'm here, I'll definitely take good care of you. You won't starve." The corner of Jin Ju's mouth pulled out a smile, and she nodded heavily in response. Yes, I know. Tianhu, it's good to have you. Silly girl, I'm your husband, so of course I have to treat you well. Yeah. Jin Ju's originally gloomy mood improved a lot. Since this matter could not be explained and could not be undone, then she would try her best not to think about it and slowly forget about it. Anyway, she really didn't steal it. As long as she had a clear conscience, it was fine. Old Zhao's house gradually quieted down. Those who needed to work went back to work, and those who needed to rest went back to rest. Xinpan walked into the room with a victorious smile on her face. Chapter 2231. As for the golden hairpin, she had secretly stuffed it into the second branch's wardrobe. Naturally, she couldn't force the second branch to separate from them, so she could only use such an extreme method. By framing Jinju for stealing, they could separate from the family and make Feng Zhangxia loathe Jinju. At the very least, she wouldn't treat Jinju like before. Ever since Jinju married over, Feng Zhangxia had been especially good to her. This kind of kindness directly overshadowed the way she treated her, making Xinpan feel very uncomfortable. Now that Feng Zhangxia loathed Jinju, there would be a gap between the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. Then Feng Zhangxia would treat her better in the future. Although it would hurt Jinju, she had to do it for her own sake. Now she had achieved her goal and successfully separated from the family. She only hoped that Zhao Tianlong would come back soon. She really missed him too much. If it wasn't for Zhao Tianlong giving her something to look forward to, she wouldn't have been able to stay in old Zhao's home for even a day. Now that she had dealt with the second branch, she was in a very good mood. She couldn't help but smile. Zhao Yangyang looked at Xinpan's happy expression and asked, "Mother, what made you so happy?" Xinpan naturally wouldn't tell Zhao Yangyang the truth. She didn't want him to spread the news. "It's nothing. Mother just wanted to let you know that your father will be back soon." Xinpan patted Zhao Yangyang's head and said with a gentle expression. Zhao Yangyang's eyes immediately lit up. "Mother, really? Father will be back soon?" Xinpan nodded heavily. "Of course. How could Mother lie to you?" Good. Yangyang really misses Father. Mother also misses your father. Let's wait for your father to come back together. And then, The mother and son acted out a warm scene in the room. Outside the room, Zhao Wenshui was still lying on Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart. No matter what, it wasn't easy for him to clear his name. Zhao Wenshui was in a good mood. Lying on the donkey cart, Zhao Yun'er called out, "Little Yun'er, second uncle was right? This time it really has nothing to do with second uncle. Second uncle is not a thief." Zhao Yun'er frowned, thinking about what happened today. She had interacted with Jinju before and knew Jinju's temperament. How could a person who didn't like to take advantage of others steal? She believed that she had not misjudged Jinju. This matter definitely had nothing to do with Jinju. But why was that? Why do you want to frame Jinju? What was his goal? Zhao Yun'er carefully recalled the words of the people in the courtyard just now. After some analysis, he felt that there was something suspicious about Shin Panner. There was definitely something wrong with this woman. If the reason why he tried so hard to frame Jinju was to separate from the family, this was understandable. Unfortunately, she didn't have any evidence, so she couldn't say that it was just a wild guess. As for Jinju, splitting up might not be a bad thing. Based on her understanding of Zhao Tianhu and Jinju, both of them were people who worked hard to live their lives. As long as they worked hard, they would definitely make their lives more and more beautiful. Little Yun'er, why aren't you talking? What are you thinking? Why are you ignoring your second uncle? Zhao Wenshui pushed Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er pulled back from her thoughts. Chapter 2232. Zhao Wenshui hurriedly responded. It would have been fine if Zhao Yun'er didn't mention it, but now that she did, he felt sore all over as if his bones were about to fall apart. However, Zhao Yun'er couldn't move Zhao Wenshui by herself. After all, he was a man and it was inconvenient for her to support him. Zhao Wenshui shouted at Zhao Wentao, who was in the courtyard. "Fourth brother, come here quickly. Help your second brother carry him into the house. Your second brother can't walk and Yun'er can't move him." Seeing Zhao Wenshui's angry look, Zhao Wentao had no choice but to walk to Zhao Wenshui and carry Zhao Wenshui on his back. When Hu Chunhua saw this, she stood in the courtyard and shouted, "Fourth brother, don't carry him. Don't pay attention to him. Second brother is a troublemaker who likes to make trouble all day long. Look at what he has become. He has troubled his family. Let him fend for himself. Don't pay attention to him even if he dies." Zhao Wentao was embarrassed for a moment. He couldn't advance or retreat. With a bitter face, Zhao Wenshui looked at Hu Chunhua pitifully. "Mother, I'm your son. How can you be so cruel as to watch me die?" Hu Chunhua snorted coldly. "Who told you to cause trouble? Even if you die, I will still be able to live in peace." Hu Chunhua's cruel words pierced Zhao Wenshui's heart like a needle. It was fine if others disliked him, but this year, his mother also disliked him. He really couldn't bear it. Why was it like this? How much of a failure did he have to be like this? However, at the same time, Zhao Wenshui faced up to the absurdity of his previous behavior and made up his mind to turn over a new leaf. Only in this way would he not be abandoned by his friends and family for the rest of his life. He would not grow old alone or die alone. Zhao Wenshui sobbed and said to Hu Chunhua, "Then I realized that I did a lot of ridiculous things before, but from today on, I won't do it again and I won't make trouble for you and our family." Hu Chunhua and Zhao Wenshui were slightly startled. Zhao Yun'er had thought so before. They couldn't believe that Zhao Wenshui would say such a thing. Hu Chunhua stared at Zhao Wenshui suspiciously, then muttered, "I say, number two, what kind of trick are you up to? Is your brain okay?" Zhao Wenshui's mouth twitched. Then he said seriously, "Mother, of course my brain is fine. It's clear. I just suddenly realized that I have to be a good person in the future." Hu Chunhua frowned. "Second brother, don't fool an old woman like me. I know what kind of person you are. Who would believe you when you say that you've turned over a new leaf? In my opinion, you'll be back to square one in a few days." "Mother, it's not easy for second brother to say such a thing. Let's give second brother a chance." Zhao Wentao, who had been silent all this time, said. If a muddle-headed person could realize that his behavior was wrong and wanted to turn over a new leaf, it meant that he had already taken the first step. As for whether he could succeed in the future, that would depend on his persistence. At least it was better than him not recognizing his own shortcomings. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Wentao, touched. He held Zhao Wentao's hand and said, "Fourth brother, you're so good. Your second brother's good brother. Second brother won't let you down." Zhao Wentao returned a smile. "Second brother, as long as you're willing to change, there's still a chance. We're family, so you don't have to be so polite." Chapter 2233. Hua Chuanhua's eyes turned, and her heart softened at this moment. No matter what, Zhao Wenxue was her son, a piece of flesh that fell from her body. Others could ignore the hardships of carrying Zhao Wenxue for 10 months, but as a mother, it was difficult for her to completely let go of Zhao Wenxue. Hua Chuanhua sighed, "All right then, I'll give second brother this opportunity. I hope he can really recognize himself, turn over a new leaf and be a good person. Don't play tricks." "Mother, how can that be? I will definitely change," Zhao Wenxue said sincerely, and the smile on his face was no longer as wretched as before. Instead, there was a sense of naivety. Zhao Wentao then sent Zhao Wenxue into the house and went to invite Dr. Sun over for Zhao Wenxue. This time, Zhao Wenxue was so seriously injured because he had just recovered from his previous injury and suffered a heavy impact again. However, it was not a big deal. As long as he lay on the bed and rested for a while, he would be fine. Seeing that Dr. Sun said it was not a big deal and that there was no need to prescribe medicine, Zhao Wenxue and Hua Chuanhua both breathed a sigh of relief. After all, the cost of medicine was too expensive. It would cost a lot of money to just casually grab some medicine, which was a huge expense for the villagers. If it was in the past, Zhao Wenxue felt that it was okay to spend all the money. At worst, he could just ask Zhao Jing'er for money in the future. Now that he could not count on the Zheng family, he naturally had to save up the remaining money in his hands. If he had to live on, he had to be careful with his spending. Otherwise, that little money would not be able to last long. After confirming that Zhao Wenxue was fine, Zhao Yun also breathed a sigh of relief. Since Zhao Wenxue had decided to turn over a new leaf, he had to have the fate to change. Fortunately, the heavens were merciful and did not let Zhao Wenxue suffer any serious injuries. After dealing with Zhao Wenshue's matter, Zhao Yun saw Jin Ju and Zhao Qianhu moving things because of the separation, so she walked over and wanted to help them. When Jin Ju saw Zhao Yuner coming over, she felt a little embarrassed. "Yuner, everyone thinks I'm a thief and doesn't want to talk to me. Why did you take the initiative to talk to me?" Zhao Yuner smiled and said, "Because I believe that you didn't steal it. I know you're not that kind of person." Zhao Yuner's words were like a warm current that flowed into Jin Ju's heart. Jin Ju had never been so touched before. It turned out that other than Zhao Qianhu, there were still people who were willing to believe in her and stand on her side. This feeling of being trusted was really good. "Yuner?" Jin Ju choked with sobs and called Zhao Yuner's name. She looked at Zhao Yuner with a touched expression. "Thank you." After a while, Jin Ju spat out these words with difficulty. Zhao Yuner's smile deepened. She patted Jin Ju's shoulder and said, "Second sister-in-law, what are you thanking me for? You didn't steal it. I believe you should. Those who don't believe you definitely don't understand you. In fact, you don't have to pay attention to those people. Just be yourself and have a clear conscience." Yes. Jin Ju nodded heavily. Chapter 2234. Jin Ju returned a smile and did not decline Zhao Yun pretentiously. She still let Zhao Yuner help. After working for more than an hour, they finally finished. After finishing here, Zhao Yun hurried Xiaomao back to her home. Her family members thought that something had happened to her and did not come back until now. Zhao Yun told them everything that had happened today. After listening to Zhao Yuner's words, the people in the third branch could not help but sigh. So many things had happened. Most of them sighed about Zhao Tianhu's separation from the family. After saying a few words, Zhao Yun was brought into the kitchen to work. Tian clung to Liang Jinxiao and insisted on being hugged by Liang Jinxiao. As a result, Liang Jinxiao could not help Zhao Yuner in the kitchen. There were a lot of dishes cooked at noon. Zhao Yun was always a little tired working alone. Mu Lianfeng was free, so he went into the kitchen to help Zhao Yuner. Looking at Mu Lianfeng wearing a brocade robe, which was incomparably luxurious, he looked like a noble young master. Zhao Yuner pushed Mu Lianfeng out. "Aya, why did you run into the kitchen like this? You're covered in oil and smoke. It's not good to dirty your clothes." It's okay. How can the clothes be dirty just like that? How about this, I'll stay a little further away and help you with the fire. This way I won't get any oil on my body. Otherwise, how would you be able to cook and light the fire all by yourself?" Zhao Yun frowned and was still a little reluctant. However, Mu Lianfeng ignored Zhao Yuner's objection and sat in front of the stove. He picked up the branches on the ground and stuffed them in. Zhao Yuner shook her head helplessly. "Forget it. Since this guy can't stay idle, then let him be busy." Mu Lianfeng stuffed wood into the stove, and the wood creaked as he did so. Mu Lianfeng looked at Zhao Yun'er, who was busy in front of the stove. She was wearing coarse clothes. Because of the steam rising from the pot, Zhao Yun'er's forehead was soaked with a layer of sweat. Mu Lianfeng's heart couldn't help but ache. Looking at the hard-working Zhao Yun'er, Mu Lianfeng couldn't help but smile. This Yun'er was really beautiful. Although she didn't have a devastatingly beautiful appearance, her beauty gave off a different kind of feeling. This woman had an indescribable charm that was different from other women. That was why she was so attractive. As if feeling Mu Lianfeng's burning gaze, Zhao Yun'er turned her head and glanced at Mu Lianfeng. "Why are you looking at me?" Zhao Yun'er asked curiously. "I'm looking at my wife. I just can't get enough of you. I want to look at you more." This guy, he's starting to learn how to be glib. Zhao Yun'er pretended to be angry and glared at Mu Lianfeng. "Hurry up and focus on the fire. Don't be distracted." Okay. The corners of Mu Lianfeng's lips curled up into a doting smile. Suddenly the burning wood in the stove jumped out with a creak sound. The fire directly jumped onto Mu Lianfeng's brocade clothes, so much so that Mu Lianfeng's thigh was burned with a big hole. Mu Lianfeng was stunned. Fortunately, Zhao Yun'er reacted in time and quickly pulled Mu Lianfeng up, and the fire fell to the ground. Zhao Yun'er glanced at the place where Mu Lianfeng's clothes were burned. She coughed awkwardly and her face turned red. Chapter 2235. Although she wasn't the kind of woman with strong desires, she was still a normal woman. Occasionally, it was necessary to have a couple's life to adjust the relationship between husband and wife. If Mu Lianfeng's thing was really damaged, what would happen to her happiness for the rest of her life? Mu Lianfeng was obviously dumbfounded. He looked down at his lower body in a daze and mumbled, "This? What the hell is going on? The sparks are jumping out. Sai, if I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have let you do this. This is too risky. What if something happens?" Zhao Yun'er muttered. She looked uncertainly at the place where Mu Lianfeng's clothes were burned. She almost reached out to touch it. "Mu Lianfeng, feel it yourself. Does it hurt? Did you get burned?" Zhao Yun'er asked worriedly. Mu Lianfeng shook his head. "It doesn't hurt. I didn't burn my body. It's just that my clothes are burned." Zhao Yun'er patted her chest. That's good, that's good. Mu Lianfeng, don't help me light the fire. What if you get burned again? The sparks like to jump around." Mu Lianfeng was also a little shaken. He wanted to persist, but how could he persist in his current embarrassed state? "Okay, Yun'er. I'll go change my clothes. Can you handle it alone?" "Of course I can. Go quickly. Change your clothes and put them on the bed. I'll make up for it after dinner." "Okay." Mu Lianfeng nodded helplessly. He looked at his lower body in embarrassment and then rushed out of the kitchen. Because the place burned by the sparks was too embarrassing, Mu Lianfeng was afraid that others would see it. He quickened his pace and rushed into the room. Zhao Yun'er quickly prepared the meal. The family sat together and ate happily. Because the day of Zhao Qianan's wedding was getting closer and closer, everyone in the third branch was immersed in a kind of joy. After 2 months, Feng Zhangsha's belly had begun to show. In a few more months, the little brother or sister in her belly would be born. After lunch, everyone went back to their rooms to rest for a while. Zhao Yun'er remembered that Mu Lianfeng's clothes still needed to be mended, so she took out a needle and thread. Mu Lianfeng's brocade robe was made of high-quality material. It was a pity that there were so many big holes. Although she could still wear it after mending it, it was still better not to have it broken. Zhao Yun'er felt some regret in her heart, but Mu Lianfeng did not show any signs of distress. Zhao Yun'er sighed slightly. A big shot was a big shot. She had seen a lot of good things since she was young. Naturally, she didn't care about this little thing. Mu Lianfeng's bedding pants were also burned with a big hole, right at the place where his genitals were. Zhao Yun'er took Mu Lianfeng's bedding pants and mended it. As she sewed, she felt that something was wrong, so she glanced at Mu Lianfeng's lower part. However, this time Mu Lianfeng was wearing clothes, so she didn't see anything. Seeing Zhao Yun'er's strange reaction, Mu Lianfeng couldn't help but ask, "Yun'er, what are you looking at?" Zhao Yun'er thought about it and said what was in her heart. "Mu Lianfeng, look at the big hole in your bedding pants. It's been burned to this extent. Is your lower part really okay? Is it really not burned? There's no reason. It's impossible that the bedding pants have such a big hole, but that thing is still intact, right?" Chapter 2236. Mu Lianfeng smiled bitterly and met Zhao Yun'er's curious eyes. Then he said to Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, I'm really fine. Don't worry about me. When Mu Lianfeng said this, Zhao Yuner couldn't help but wonder if there was something wrong with this guy. He was afraid that she would be worried, so he deliberately hid it from her. Mu Lianfeng, are you really okay? If you have something wrong, you have to say it in time. It's not too late to ask Dr. Sun to come over now. If you delay and miss the best time for treatment, it might really be serious. Mu Lianfeng saw that Zhao Yuner said with a serious face, as if something really happened to him. He smiled helplessly at Zhao Yuner. Yuner, I'm really fine. If you don't believe me, how about this? You can touch it or take a look. Then you'll know if I'm lying. Zhao Yuner's face suddenly turned red. Why did it feel like Mu Lianfeng was teasing her? Let her look at his lower body or touch his lower body? How could that be? She just didn't dare to think about it. I don't want to look or touch, pervert. Zhao Yuner scolded in a low voice. Mu Lianfeng saw that Zhao Yuner's face was red, so he couldn't continue to joke. Yuner, I just want you to believe that I'm really fine. That's the only way. Otherwise, let's try it tonight. Then you'll know if there's anything wrong with my lower body. Mu Lianfeng whispered in Zhao Yuner's ear. The breath he exhaled had a flirtatious smell, which tickled Zhao Yuner's ear. Only then did Zhao Yuner believe that Mu Lianfeng was really fine. The atmosphere between the two of them warmed up a little. She quickly moved her butt to the side, keeping a safe distance from Mu Lianfeng. After all, it was broad daylight now. It wouldn't be good if they got into a fight and did that kind of thing. Zhao Yuner lowered her head and sewed Mu Lianfeng's clothes, while Mu Lianfeng looked at Zhao Yuner dotingly. For Mu Lianfeng, this kind of life was a kind of happiness. But when he thought that he might leave soon, Mu Lianfeng was even more reluctant to part with Zhao Yuner. After telling this matter, he didn't tell Zhao Yuner, I have something to discuss with you. I have something to discuss with you. What's the matter? There's a riot at the border. His Majesty might send me to station troops there to resolve the unrest there. Although I don't know when they will set off, the person who will be sent should be me. After hearing Mu Lianfeng's words, Zhao Yuner couldn't help but stop what she was doing. Border? Wasn't that a very far place? How long would Mu Lianfeng be gone? When would he come back? It wasn't easy for the family to spend some happy days together. Was Mu Lianfeng leaving so soon? Seeing that Zhao Yuner didn't say anything and lowered her head, Mu Lianfeng knew that Zhao Yuner didn't want him to leave. Ai Yuner, you know that His Majesty doesn't have many officials who can be put in important positions. Otherwise, how could this kind of thing fall on my head? If I had a choice, I definitely wouldn't go. I just want to protect you and Daodu. I want to protect our family and live together. Mu Lianfeng's tone was full of helplessness. It was like this in this era. Even if Mu Lianfeng had a noble status as an official, he would still be restrained. Could he not listen to His Majesty's orders? Obviously not. Chapter 2237. This was the helplessness of this era, forcing them to do things they didn't want to do. Compared to everything they were enjoying now, it was normal for them to have more responsibilities. Compared to the commoners who didn't have enough to eat, those people would probably do their best to listen to the emperor's arrangements if they were given the chance to live a carefree life. Since that's the case, you have no choice but to do it. Zhao Yuner said to Mu Lianfeng without a trace of blame in her tone. Mu Lianfeng was very touched. He thought that Zhao Yuner would blame him, or at least make a scene to express her dissatisfaction. He didn't expect Zhao Yuner's reaction to be so normal. She could completely understand him. Yuner, thank you. Mu Lianfeng held Zhao Yuner's hand and said emotionally. Zhao Yuner smiled. What are you thanking me for? Did you think that I would be unhappy and stop you from going? Am I such an unreasonable person? No Yuner, you're the best girl. Mu Lianfeng grinned. Ai. Actually, Daodu and I have nothing to do at home. It's pretty good at home. You can eat whatever you want and we can take care of each other as a family. But you're going to the frontier fortress alone. What are you going to do on such a long journey? Can you take care of yourself by yourself? Yuner, I can do it. Don't worry about me. Seeing that Zhao Yuner was worried about him, Mu Lianfeng's heart felt warm. Okay. Come back early after you finish the mission. Don't delay, okay? Yes, of course. After he finished the mission, he would definitely be anxious to return early and wouldn't be delayed on the road. Just as the two of them were talking, there was a commotion outside. It seemed to be the sound of an argument. Zhao Yuner frowned. Usually no one would come here. Who was it that came to the door? Mu Lianfeng stood up. Yuner, I'll go take a look. Zhao Yuner also stood up and said, I'll go take a look too. Let's go together. With that, Zhao Yuner put down the needlework in her hands. When the two of them left the house and went to the courtyard, they found that it was the Mu family. Leading the group was Old Lady Mu, followed by Mulan's father, Mu Dade, and Mulan's stepmother, Luo Tsueyu. Old Lady Mu's saliva flew everywhere as she shouted, "My granddaughter is married, so what's wrong with me asking for money?" He had raised such a daughter for nothing. He couldn't possibly let her marry someone else for nothing, right? No matter what, you have to send some money as a gift. Otherwise, our Mu family will not agree to this marriage. Mulan stood in front of Old Lady Mu. She frowned and said to Old Lady Mu with a displeased expression, "Grandmother, what are you doing? How could they be so shameless and still have the nerve to come over and ask for money? Back then, I almost sold Xinshin and it was I who used money to redeem her from you. Now that she's married, even though I was the one who arranged the wedding, it should be me who receives the money as a gift. When did it become your turn to come here? Hurry up and leave. Don't make a fuss here." As Mulan spoke, she was somewhat displeased as she chased them away. Zhao Yuner listened for a while and understood what was going on. The Mu family had probably heard the news that Mu Hin was going to marry over, so they came over, hoping that their Zhao family would give them some money as a gift. It was normal for families to give money as a gift when they were getting married. If Mu Hin had not experienced those things back then, their Zhao family would definitely give some money when Zhao Tianan married Mu Hin. Chapter 2238. Now Mu Hin's only family members were Mulan and her family. Giving Mulan money as a gift was enough. As for giving it to the Zhao family, it was purely a waste. Why should they benefit from a family that would even sell their daughter for money? In addition, Mulan had indeed spent money to save Mu Hin, so she had severed ties with the Mu family. No matter what, the Mu family had not been kind enough to ask for money this time. "Mulan, what are you talking about, you little b***tch? No matter what, I'm your grandmother and your father is still around. You two girls are your parents' children. Now that Mu Hin is getting married, her family won't get a single cent as a gift. Does this count? Anyway, I don't care. If their family doesn't take out the money today, they can forget about the wedding. I'll say it here. Don't give them a chance. Don't blame us when they screw up the wedding." Old Lady Mu put her hands on her hips and continued to spit out as she spoke righteously. Mulan was so angry that her chest hurt from Old Lady Mu's anger. She had seen shameless people, but she had never seen such shameless people. When she thought about how these shameless people had given birth to her and raised her, Mulan felt that she could not accept it. "Dade, what are you standing there for? Don't you know how to speak? Hurry up and say a few words to your daughter." Old Lady Mu commanded Mu Dade. Only then did Mu Dade step forward a little embarrassedly. However, unlike Old Lady Mu, he negotiated with Mulan nicely. "Lan, your grandmother's words are not without reason. Marriage is decided by the elders. You and Xinshin are both my children. Now that she's married, no matter what, she can't cast me aside as her father, right? At least give some money as a token of appreciation." Lan, you don't know that our family's life is not easy now. I heard that Xinshin's future in-laws are very rich. Just look at how big their house is and you can tell that their family is definitely not lacking in money. Since that's the case, there's no harm in letting them take out some betrothal gifts. Since he's rich, he can't be unwilling to part with such a small amount of money, right? Luo Tsueyu, who was standing beside Mu Dade, chimed in, That's right. The money here must be given to the maternal family. In my opinion, the in-laws are so rich. The 20 taels that mother asked them to give seems to be too little. In my opinion, it should be at least 50 taels." Old Lady Mu coughed lightly. "Of course, the more the better. Who dislikes you for giving too much?" Mulan's face darkened when she heard the Mu family's words. Just how thick-skinned were these people? Instead of saying that they were here to ask for gifts, it was better to say that they were here to rob. For a normal family, a few taels of silver would be enough as a betrothal gift for their daughter. How could they ask for so much money? Mulan couldn't control herself and directly scolded. 50 taels? Why don't you go and rob them? They would probably be able to snatch it faster. Although the Zhao family was rich, there was no need for them to reject their own money, right? Giving it to you for free? Dream on. Not to mention 20 taels, even 50 taels, don't expect to get a single cent today. Bah. Each and every one of you is shameless. What did you do in the past? You actually have the nerve to come here today. I think you didn't learn your lesson last time. Do you want to come here again today? Faced with Mulan's threat, the Mu family was naturally afraid. But they couldn't bear to part with so much money. Chapter 2239. It's right and proper to ask for money when marrying off a daughter. How are we robbing? Mulan, it's not like I'm asking you for money. Why are you calling me in such a hurry? Now we just want to ask the Zhao family, do they still miss our daughter? If they don't give us money, we'll take Mu Hin back and not marry off. Old Lady Mu raised her chin in an overbearing manner. Mulan spat on the ground. Bah, I'll see if you're done. I spent that money and you chased Xian away. It has nothing to do with you. To be honest, the Zhao family has already given me money. If you have the ability, you can take it back from me. You. Old Lady Mu pointed at Mulan angrily. Who would have thought that Mulan, who was originally very gentle, would become like a shrew and not listen to reason at all? Dade, look at the good daughter you've raised. How did she turn out like this? Mu Dade frowned and then discussed with Mulan. Lan, you're just an older sister. It's against the rules to give you money as a gift. Quickly take it out and let us take it back. We won't fuss over your rude behavior to your grandmother today. Mulan sneered. It sounded as if he was afraid that they would fuss over it. Father, how is it against the rules? From the day you planned to sell Xian, you're no longer worthy of being her father. Since she's already left the Mu family and lived with me for so long, she's naturally cut off all ties with the Mu family. I gave you money back then and now I'm only taking it as repayment. I still have to buy some dowry for Xian. You want to take it back? Fine, they gave you 10 taels as a gift. But Xian's dowry must be at least 8 taels. There's still 2 taels left. I'll give you 2 taels. But I gave you 5 taels back then. You have to return the 5 taels I gave you, right? After Mulan's careful calculation, not only did the Mu family not get any benefits, but they also had to fork out 3 taels of silver to give to Mulan. How could they be willing? Old Madame Lin was in disbelief. The Zhao family is so rich but they only gave him 10 taels? I say, Mulan girl, do you think I'm an old fool who's trying to scare me? Mulan smirked. So what if he's rich? Was 10 taels of silver too little? Grandma, I would like to ask, how many of my cousins received 10 taels of silver as a gift when they got married? I don't think so, right? At most it would be 6 taels. Our family seems to have added 2 taels of dowry. In the entire village, there aren't many families who would give their daughters 10 taels of silver as a gift. Therefore, the Zhao family has already given Xin 10 taels of silver as a gift. What's there to be picky about? Old Lady Mu's back was turned and she was speechless for a moment. Luo Tsueyu watched from the side and sighed inwardly. This girl's eloquence was amazing. Normal people really couldn't win against her. Anyway, 10 taels of silver is too little. We came all the way here today, so we have to take out some money as a token of appreciation, right? I don't want 50 taels, but 10 or 20 taels must be given. Otherwise, don't blame us for causing trouble on Mu Hin's wedding day. For such a joyous day like a wedding, it would indeed affect the mood if something were to happen. It wouldn't be good if something that was supposed to be joyous became unhappy. Chapter 2240. Zhao Yun frowned, thinking about how to deal with this kind of scoundrel. Mulan and Mu Hin had such a family, it was really troublesome. Zhao Yun was very clear that if she satisfied the Mu family's request now, she would really give them 10 taels of silver as a wedding gift in order to keep the peace. If the Mu family became pampered and spoiled, they might come to the third branch to make a fuss and ask for money when they were short of money. So there were some things that one could not take the first step. Once one took the first step, one would lose. When the time comes, I'm afraid that you won't have the life to make a fuss. Zhao Yun's cold voice sounded. She had a smile on her face, but it was so cold that it made people tremble with fear. The Mu family looked at Zhao Yun, not understanding the meaning of Zhao Yun's words. What are you going to do? Are you trying to scare us? Old Lady Mu asked angrily. Zhao Yun shook her head. I'm not going to do anything, but once you do, you will definitely not have a good ending. When the time comes, I will make the wedding go smoothly, and no one will be able to ruin it. The Mu family did not understand Zhao Yun's words, but they still shouted arrogantly. If you don't give us the money now, we will make a fuss when the time comes. We will bring Xin home and see how you are going to make the wedding go smoothly. Zhao Yun smiled. Since you know that the Zhao family is rich, do you know why we are rich? What? Because we have connections with the officials. Look, this is the current heir apparent. With him around, when the time comes, he will send some people to arrest you if you make a fuss. Zhao Yun said and pointed at Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng could not help but want to laugh. Yun was smarter than before, she knew how to use his identity to intimidate people. Sure enough, the Mu family was stunned and seemed a little scared. Looking at Mu Lianfeng's dressing and temperament, he did not seem like an ordinary person. Saying that he was the heir of the crown prince, Luo Tsueyu muttered. He's the heir apparent? Are we supposed to believe whatever you say? Who can prove it? Why don't you go and ask around? Everyone in our village knows. Old Lady Mu was afraid, but at the same time, her heart was filled with unwillingness. What's wrong with the heir? Why should he be in charge of our daughter's gift money? Isn't that unreasonable? Zhao Yun smiled again. I forgot to tell you that our county's deputy district magistrate will also come. If you make trouble, you can make things clear in front of the deputy district magistrate. I'd like to ask the county magistrate if there's anyone like you who would sell off their daughter and wait for her to get married before asking for money as a gift. The arrogance of the members of the Mu family was reduced a little when they heard the name of the deputy magistrate. The deputy county magistrate was in charge of these trivial matters. Yang City forbade human trafficking in the open. Usually, such transactions were done in secret. Those who were caught would be punished. When they sold Mu Hin and complained to the deputy district magistrate, how could they get away with it? Why did the Zhao family have so many fans? Not only did they have connections with the current Shitzi, but they also had connections with the people of the county deputy. They were definitely not ordinary farmers. Luo Tsueyu came to old Lady Mu and asked her weakly, Mother, do you think what this girl said is true? Will the deputy district magistrate come here? How can she be so influential? Chapter 2241. Mother. What if they're just trying to trick us? Are we just going to forget about the gift money? We spent a lot of effort to come here today, we can't go back empty-handed, right? Luo Tsueyu was unwilling to give up. The Mu family was so poor that they couldn't live on. If she could get some money back, she could at least improve her life and ask the Mu family to buy more meat for her. After not eating meat for a few days, she felt terrible. She always felt uncomfortable and unhappy. But what if they're telling the truth? Are we going to give up our lives for money? What if we're thrown into jail by the county magistrate? That's equivalent to losing our lives. My dad doesn't even have a son, how can we let him get into trouble? Old Lady Mu voiced out her worries. No matter what, life was more important than anything else. Seeing Zhao Yun'er's serious expression, it didn't seem like she was lying. Mu Dade was a timid person. He tugged at old Lady Mu's sleeve and said, Mother, why don't we just let it go? We don't have to sacrifice ourselves for a bit of money. They have the support of the heir presumptive and the county magistrate, how can we fight them? Aren't we just asking for trouble? Old Lady Mu glanced at Mu Dade and saw through his thoughts. She scolded him softly, Useless thing, how did I give birth to such a timid son? Although she was also worried, she wasn't as nervous as Mu Dade. Mu Dade lowered his head and accepted the scolding. He didn't dare to talk back to old Lady Mu. He was just expressing his thoughts. Why was he being scolded again for no reason? Mother, what do we do now? Luo Tsueyu frowned and asked. Wait a minute, let me think. Seeing that old Lady Mu wanted to cause trouble again, Mulan couldn't stand it anymore and warned her. Grandmother, don't think that they're bluffing. They're telling the truth. Don't let yourself suffer when you don't get any benefits. There's a good saying that citizens don't fight with officials. Unless you don't want your life, you can try and see who will suffer in the end. Zhao Yun also smiled and said to the Mu family, Today I'm not giving you a single cent, hurry up and get lost. If you're not satisfied, you can come and make trouble on that day. The Mu family was unwilling to leave just like that. When they met Zhao Yun'er's cold eyes, they wanted to retreat. At this moment, Xiao He came out of the house at the right time and jumped in front of Zhao Yun. Then he bared his fangs and barked at the Mu family. Originally, the Mu family didn't want to leave, but when they saw Blackie's to leave, old Lady Mu scolded Mulan, You damn girl, hurry up and help us drive this damn dog away. Mulan sneered, Grandmother, how can I help you? It's not my dog. Besides, dogs can't be reasoned with. After all, they can't understand human language. I can't help you even if I want to. You. Old Lady Mu's face darkened. On one hand, she was angry with Mulan. On the other hand, she was afraid of little Blackie. Luo Tsueyu saw how fierce little Blackie was and quickly hid behind Mu Dade. Even if little Blackie rushed over to bite, it would bite Mu Dade first and not her. Mu Dade was so scared that his legs trembled. He said to old Lady Mu in a trembling voice, Mother, let's hurry up and leave. It's not worth it to be bitten by a dog. You only have so little guts. Chapter 2242. Old Lady Moo ran away in fright. This damn dog really bit her. Normally, a dog's bark was just to scare people. She had met many dogs at her age, but she did not expect Zhao Yun'er's dog to really bite people. Fortunately, Old Lady Moo ran quickly, or else Little Black would have bitten her leg. At this moment, Little Black was biting Old Lady Moo's pant leg. Old Lady Moo was so frightened that she quickly retracted her leg, but Little Black still refused to let go. Old Lady Moo was so frightened that she hurriedly called out to Moo Dade, "Dade, hurry, hurry and save Mother. Chase this damn dog away." Moo Dade laughed even harder. His legs trembled as he said to Old Lady Moo from afar, "Mother, I want to save you but I don't dare to. I'm scared of dogs." As Moo Dade spoke, he pushed Luo Tsueyu aside and said, "Wife, hurry and save Mother. I'm scared." Luo Tsueyu glared at Moo Dade fiercely and scolded him, "Moo Dade, you heartless thing. You're scared but I'm not? I'm your wife, how dare you push me away? Is your mother more important than me? I've slept with you for so many days and I even want to give birth to your son. If anything happens to me, do you expect your mother to sleep with you at her age and give birth to your son?" Luo Tsueyu was anxious, so she spoke shamelessly. Everyone who heard her secretly shook their heads. Zhao Yun'er felt that the saying "birds of a feather flock together" was accurate. Even if the Moo family's weirdos married another wife, it would be a stupid woman like Luo Tsueyu. Moo Dade was speechless. He looked at Old Lady Moo and then at Luo Tsueyu, his face conflicted. To him, his mother was very important, but his wife was also important. Just as Luo Tsueyu said, if he lost his wife, who would sleep with him and give birth to his son? Sigh. Moo Dade sighed heavily. He could only blame himself for being useless. He was afraid of everything and could not protect his mother or his wife. You two useless, heartless things. Old Lady Moo gloomily glared at Moo Dade and Luo Tsueyu. Old Lady Moo could only kick her legs and continue to pull from Xiaohei's mouth. Blackie whimpered a few times and suddenly let go of Old Lady Moo. Old Lady Moo used too much strength and lost her balance, falling directly to the ground. The moment Old Lady Moo fell to the ground, she let out a miserable cry. She was already old and couldn't stand the torment. After such a heavy fall, he felt that his legs were about to break. Especially the area around her pelvis, it felt as if it had cracked. It was so painful that she grimaced and broke out in cold sweat. Old Lady Moo waved at Moo Dade and said, "Quick, come here and pull me up." "All right." Moo Dade responded. Just as he was about to help the old lady up, Xiaohei turned around and bared his fangs at Luo Tsueyu. Luo Tsueyu's heart suddenly tightened. She was so frightened that she wanted to run away, but Xiaohei had already caught up and bit Luo Tsueyu's but without hesitation. Luo Tsueyu screamed even more miserably than Old Lady Moo. Xiaohei's bite almost bit off a piece of flesh from her butt. Seeing Xiaohei's awe-inspiring manner of teaching a weirdo a lesson, Zhao Yun'er felt great. Compared to moving his mouth, it seemed that Little Black's way of directly biting people was more satisfying, and also more frightening. Chapter 2243. Dade, save me. Hurry and help me get this damn dog away. I'm going to die from the pain. Luo Tsueyu instructed Moo Dade. Old Lady Moo stopped Moo Dade and said, "Brat, I'm your mother. Help me up first. My bones are going to break at this age. Dade, if you don't save me, I'm going to be bitten to death by this damn dog. Let's see where you can find a wife later." Luo Tsueyu shouted. Moo Dade was conflicted for a while. He felt that his wife was the most important. So he rushed towards Luo Tsueyu. Although he was a little timid, he was using his last bit of courage to chase Little Black away for his wife. Old Lady Moo suddenly understood. So this was how her son, whom she had raised painstakingly, treated her. He was so smitten by a woman that he didn't even care about his own mother. Why did she still worry about him every day? Now she only felt her heart turn cold. It was an indescribable pain. Zhao Yun'er was afraid that someone would die. She raised her voice and said, "Are you going to scram now? If you scram, I'll let you go. If you don't, I'll let you go and continue biting." The Moo family members were so frightened that they replied without hesitation, "Scram, scram, we'll scram now." Seeing that the Moo family members were obedient, Zhao Yun'er waved at Little Black. "All right, Little Black, stop biting. That's enough." When Little Black heard Zhao Yun'er's call, he wagged his tail and ran towards Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er had a faint smile on her face. It was indeed a dog with intelligence. No matter how fierce Little Black was to others, he was just a cute dog in front of her. At this moment, the Moo family members didn't know how Zhao Yun'er felt. If they knew that Zhao Yun praised Little Black for being cute, they would definitely refute. How was this dog cute? It was clearly a dead dog, a vicious dog. They had never seen a dog so fierce that it would bite anyone it saw. Now that Little Black was so fierce, they didn't dare to continue causing trouble. Even though they were unwilling, they could only choose to leave. Old Lady Mu and Luo Tsueyu were both seriously injured. They couldn't walk and relied on Mu Dade alone. Seeing that Mu Dade was more concerned about Luo Tsueyu, Old Lady Mu felt uncomfortable. She pointed at Mu Dade and scolded, "You heartless thing. I gave birth to you, raised you and took care of you for so long. Do you only remember this stinky woman who just got married? You don't even care about your own mother?" Mu Dade's face revealed a trace of embarrassment. "Mother, how could that be? It's just that you can sit on the ground for a while, but Chueyu is being chased by that dog. If I don't help her, won't I be bitten to death?" Old Lady Mu was still glaring at Mu Dade with a pair of gloomy eyes. All right, don't talk about this with me. Why didn't you come to help me when I was being chased by that dog? You've forgotten your mother after marrying a wife. You don't have a conscience." Mulan watched the scene from the side and laughed in her heart. Old Lady Mu deserved it. Her father was even willing to sell his own daughter. What was his own mother to him? Rather than caring about Luo Tsueyu, he cared more about his son. After all, Luo Tsueyu could only give birth to a son for him. Otherwise, where would his son come from? Good karma was a cycle of reincarnation. Now that it was Old Lady Mu's turn, it really made people secretly happy. "Mother." Mu Dade was not good with words. He didn't know how to defend himself now. Chapter 2244. Thinking about the 2 times she came to Shuilan village, she was only looking for trouble for herself. Old Lady Mu felt aggrieved. Last time, her head was broken by Mulan and she still had headaches from time to time. This time she almost broke her bones because of a dog. If she wasn't lucky, she might have been bedridden for the rest of her life. Mu Dade spent a lot of effort to pull Old Lady Mu up from the ground. "Mother, are you okay?" Mu Dade asked with concern. Old Lady Mu snorted. "Okay? How can I be okay? When you reach my age, you can try to fall and see if you can break all your bones." "Mother, can you walk? It's such a long way. How can we go back?" Mu Dade started to worry. Old Lady Mu frowned. The 2 villages were separated by quite a distance. If they walked back normally, it would just be a little tiring. But now that she had fallen, she was afraid that her body would hurt badly if she walked a few steps. She couldn't stay in Shuilan village even if she didn't walk. She had to go back. "Help me walk slowly. If you can't walk, then rest. We'll walk back eventually," Old Lady Mu said after thinking for a while. Mu Dade was in a difficult position. "Mother, Tsueyu's butt and thigh were bitten by a dog. She can't walk. I have to carry her back and support you. How can I do that? How can I carry both of you?" Old Lady Mu glanced at Luo Tsueyu. This damned woman let his son carry her. Wouldn't she crush his son? "Dade, what are you talking about? Even without me, your woman is so heavy. Can you carry her? How long can you walk with her on your back?" Mu Dade looked troubled as he nodded and replied, "Mother, I know, but what can I do? Tsueyu really can't walk. We can't just leave her here, right?" Old Lady Mu spat. "That woman is so pretentious. She has so much meat on her body. So what if she's bitten? How can she not be able to walk? I can walk away now. At most, we can just bear with it. Anyway, you can't carry it. Don't break your bones when the time comes. If that happens, none of us will have a good time." Luo Tsueyu said to Old Lady Mu with a bitter face, "Mother, I'm not pretentious. I really can't walk. Why don't you think of a way? It's impossible for us to walk back." Zhao Yun looked at the 3 people who couldn't leave because they couldn't stay in his house. She was really bored. He then said to the 3 of them, "If you want to leave, there are many ways. Our village has an ox cart. It costs 30 copper coins per trip. At most, you can rent an ox cart and go back." Mu Dade listened to Zhao Yun's words and felt that it was very good. "Mother, I think this method is good. Why don't we rent an ox cart to go back? Otherwise we can't walk at all." Old Lady Mu, on the other hand, was distressed about the 30 copper coins. Today she didn't get a single copper coin and suffered a lot. She couldn't possibly pay more now, could she? He couldn't accept it. Good my ass. 2. Chapter 2245. Luo Tsueyu chimed in, "Mother, just spend the 30 copper coins. Anyway, I really can't walk anymore. If I walk back, I'll definitely die. I still have to give birth to Dade's son. If something happens to me, where will Dade's son, your eldest grandson, go to? Old Lady Mu looked at Mu Dade exasperatedly, then glanced at Luo Tsueyu. How unlucky was their Mu family to have such a daughter-in-law and son. Both of them were worrisome. They didn't know how to save money and only thought about giving it away. Mulan couldn't stand it any longer. She said to Mu Dade and Old Lady Mu, "If you can get out of here quickly, I'll help you pay for the 30 copper coins." The members of the Mu family looked at Mulan with joy in their eyes. Old Lady Mu's originally cloudy eyes brightened. "Really? Of course it's true. Who told you to get out quickly? The further the better." Old Lady Mu reached out and said to Mulan, "All right, give us the 30 copper coins and we'll leave now." Mulan rolled her eyes and quickly took out the 30 copper coins from her pocket and placed it in Old Lady Mu's hand. "Take it." Old Lady Mu chuckled and quickly dragged Mu Dade and Luo Tsueyu away. Seeing the Mu family leave slowly but at least gradually disappear from their sight, Mulan heaved a heavy sigh of relief. She then looked at Zhao Yun'er apologetically and said to Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, I'm really sorry for causing trouble for you." Zhao Yun'er also smiled and replied comfortingly, "It's no trouble. You can't do anything when you meet such a family. It has nothing to do with you. Sai, I just didn't expect them to be so thick-skinned and want to ask for money again. This family is simply obsessed with money. They'll do anything for money. They didn't ask for it now, did they? Alright Mulan, don't be angry with them. Next time if they dare to come again, just ignore them and teach them a lesson." Mulan nodded heavily and replied, "Okay, I got it." When dealing with such a thick-skinned person, they had to be dealt with in a special way. "That's right. Yun'er, I think your little black is very powerful today. It's really amazing. It was the best way to chase away those weirdos. Later I'll see if anyone has a puppy. I'll bring one back and raise it. When the time comes, it'll be like your little black. When I see those annoying people, I'll let it bite them. I'd like to see if those people still dare to do so." Zhao Yun'er chuckled and nodded. "Okay, then you can bring a puppy back. Since my little black is here, I can teach you." Little Hay seemed to understand and wagged its tail at Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er patted Little Black's head and praised him. "Little Black, you're great today. I'm going to cook something delicious for you to reward you." Little Black wagged its tail even faster. After this incident, it was equivalent to a small interlude. Zhao Yun'er didn't take it to heart. When the people from the third branch heard Zhao Yun'er say that the county magistrate would come to attend Zhao Tianan's wedding, they asked if it was true. Chapter 2246. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao couldn't come back to their senses. Even the county prime minister came to attend their wedding. How much face did he have? When they talked about it later, everyone would say that the third branch was great. "Yun'er," he said, that if the county magistrate comes, what should we do if we neglect him? If we do something wrong, will the county magistrate be angry? Zhao Wenhua began to worry, so he asked Zhao Yun'er. Receiving the county magistrate was not like receiving ordinary people. They were always afraid that something would happen and it would have a bad influence. If the county magistrate was angry, they would have to bear the consequences. Zhao Yun'er smiled and replied, "Father, what are you afraid of? Our Shitzi is not so particular. What does he want to be particular about?" "But, Father, the county magistrate's family is very approachable. They're not so picky. If they were picky, they would not take the initiative to ask to attend our wedding. They know the things in the countryside very well. Of course, they can't be compared with the things in the city. We just need to do what we should do. We don't need to think too much about the rest." Zhao Wenhua sighed, then nodded and said, "Okay, since you said so, we can only try our best. We don't need to think too much." Okay. The days passed quickly. It was not long before the day of Zhao Tianan's wedding. The two families were preparing together in full swing. The house was decorated and it was very festive. Now Zhao Yun'er's family was a well-known figure in the village. Therefore, after the wedding, the people in the village basically came to his house to join in the fun. It was a good deal to give a gift of dozens of copper coins and eat a delicious meal. If it was other families' banquets, they might not be able to eat well. However, after these banquets were held by old Zhao's family, which banquet was shabby. This time it was the third branch's turn. Of course, the third branch couldn't make their own banquet worse than others. The day before, Zhao Yun'er and Mulan had bought all the dishes for the banquet. This time, because the two families were close to each other, Zhao Yun'er and Mulan decided to eat together. Mulan's relatives had sent gifts over, but there were very few of them. They just happened to arrange a table. It was very suitable for Zhao Yun'er to join them just now. Because of Zhao Qian'an's wedding, Zhao Yun'er couldn't handle it alone, so she invited Feng Zhangxia, Qian Hongzhao and Jin Ju. In addition, she found 2 old nannies in the village. With these people helping her, at least she could relax a little. As for Mulan, Zhao Yun'er did not let her work with her. Instead, she helped Mu Hin dress up. He had to take good care of the bride, which would take up a lot of time. In the room, Zhao Tianan couldn't wait to put on a wedding dress. Because he was going to marry Mu Hin today, Zhao Tianan was very excited. He woke up early and couldn't sleep at all. Now, he only hoped to rush over immediately and carry Mu Hin to his house. Because the 2 families were too close to each other, only a few steps away, but they prepared a sedan chair, so they had to carry it around. Therefore, under Zhao Yun'er's arrangement, Zhao Tianan and his family's team went to Mulan's house to pick up the bride. They went around the village's road, and then carried her back to the 3rd branch's house. This way it would take some time to get a taste of the wedding. Chapter 2247. In Mulan's house, Mu Hin was also wearing a custom-made wedding dress. As the saying goes, clothes make the man. It was indeed true. After putting on this festive and beautiful wedding dress, Mu Hin looked more delicate. Mulan first combed Mu Hin's hair. There was no one else in the house. She and Mu Hin were the only ones together, so the job of combing Mu Hin's hair fell to Mulan. Mulan combed Mu Hin's hair. Then she picked a few accessories that Zhao Yun'er had given to Mu Hin previously and put them on. The beautiful golden buyao swayed, adding a touch of beauty and playfulness. Mulan also put a pearl necklace on Mu Hin's neck and 2 bracelets on her wrist. After dressing up, she looked like a lady from a wealthy family. She did not look like a country girl at all. Mulan looked at Mu Hin in the mirror. After dressing up carefully, she looked like a pretty girl. If the groom saw Mu Hin like this, he would definitely like her. However, the bright red color made Mulan's eyes turn red. Mulan could not help but wipe the tears from the corners of her eyes. She hoped that Mu Hin could marry into a good family. Now that she saw Mu Hin getting married, she felt a different feeling in her heart. She felt a strong reluctance to part with her. Although they could still live together and see each other often in the future, it was still a little different. After marrying into someone else's family, she would belong to someone else. In the future, Mu Hin would not be the younger sister who hid behind her and needed her protection. She would be someone else's wife, someone who wanted to protect her and take care of her. Mulan was lamenting that her mother had died too early. It was her mother again. When she saw Mu Hin getting married, she would probably be very happy. The 2 girls that she had painstakingly raised were finally a family and had started a family. Seeing Mulan crying, Mu Hin quickly held Mulan's hand and comforted her. "Sister, don't cry. I'm just getting married. It's not like we won't be able to see each other in the future. After marrying Tianan, we can still see each other every day. Isn't that a good thing? Why are you crying?" Mulan hurriedly wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes and smiled. "Yes, Xinxin, you're right. This is a good thing. I really can't cry. I was just a little excited for a moment, thinking that our family's Xin has grown up and actually reached the age of marriage. You don't need me to protect you anymore. Tianan is a good boy. He'll definitely dote on you and love you. I'm relieved to hand you over to him." Upon hearing Mulan's words, Mu Hin choked with sobs. "Sis, all right, let's not cry. Today is your big day. Come, let's laugh together." Mulan hurriedly forced a smile. Mu Hin also forced a smile, but her grip on Mulan's hand tightened. "Just thank you. Thank you for taking care of me all this time. After mother died, you're the only one I have. If it wasn't for you, I don't know what I would be like now. Sis, I'll always remember how good you've been to me." "Hey, what are you talking about? I'm your sister. No matter what, it's something I should do. Don't say thank you. Is there a need to be so distant and courteous with me? Anyway, sis, I just want to thank you. It's so good to have you around. Silly girl, stop talking. Hurry up and tidy up." Yes. Chapter 2248. Just then Mulan's sister-in-law, Madame Qi and Mrs. Zhu came in. Mulan frowned and said to the 2 of them, "What are you 2 doing here?" Mulan's tone was a little unhappy. Obviously, she didn't want to see Madame Qi and Mrs. Zhu. In any case, she felt that when Madame Qi and old Madame Zhu came over, they definitely wouldn't cause any trouble. Madame Qi smiled. "Second sister-in-law, why are you speaking so rudely? Your younger sister is getting married today. Can't we come to join in the fun? We're a family. Isn't your younger sister equivalent to my younger sister? Seeing that she's getting married, I'm also happy. What's wrong with coming to join in the fun? Mulan rolled her eyes and said coldly to Madame Qi, my younger sister is my younger sister. What does it have to do with you? Don't flatter yourself. Second sister-in-law, why are you like this? Your mouth is full of cannons as if someone has provoked you. I just don't want to see you here. That won't do. We won't leave. It's such a joyous day. Don't tell me you're chasing us away. Aren't you afraid of ruining the atmosphere? Madame Qi raised her chin and looked fearless. She knew that most people wouldn't choose to make a fuss today. After all, the most important thing was the celebration. Mulan was infuriated, but when she thought about Qi Shi's words, she really couldn't chase them away since they were so thick-skinned. Mulan gritted her teeth and warned Madame Qi and Mrs. Zhu, it's okay for you to come here to join in the fun. You'd better cause trouble for me. Otherwise I'll make you suffer. Alright, we're just here to join in the fun. Madame Qi replied with a smile. Now that the busy farming season had passed, the villagers had some leisure time. It was rare for Madame Qi to come across such a lively day, so she naturally came to join in. Otherwise she would be bored to death at home all day. Other than joining in the fun, she also wanted to eat at the banquet. Their eldest branch had only sent a gift. Normally when people went to a banquet there wouldn't be so many people at home. At most, only men would go over to eat or take care of their children. Women would stay at home and not be able to eat. And Madame Qi was a glutton. Thinking of the delicious food at the banquet, how could she leave her behind? Now that they were thick-skinned enough to join in the fun, they naturally sat down and started eating when the banquet started. Anyway, they were family. She did not believe that Mulan would really chase her away and not let her eat. Seeing Mu Hin sitting in front of the dressing table with a golden buyao on her head and expensive jewelry on the side, Madame Qi's eyes immediately lit up. She had never seen such beautiful jewelry before. And there were even gold ones. The glistening yellow gold was very eye-catching. Just by looking at it, one could tell that it was worth a lot of money. Madame Qi was secretly envious. She had never expected the second branch to be so wealthy. Even these gold jewelry could be taken out in piles. I say, second sister-in-law, aren't you a little too rich? Sister just got married and stuffed all these good things. Why don't I see you and second brother bringing money to show filial piety to mother? Mother is living a hard life now. Our eldest branch has no money and can't do anything about it. Your second branch has money, but don't you know how to express your gratitude? Madame Qi said sarcastically. When Mrs. Zhu heard Madame Qi's words, she suddenly looked displeased. Chapter 2249. Mulan rolled her eyes. This young master of hers just liked to stir up trouble. She couldn't wait to cause more trouble for his family. She just couldn't bear to see their family living well. Sister-in-law, what are you talking about? If you want to be filial, it's naturally your and eldest brother's turn to be more filial. It's not like you don't know how we separated from the family. Your first branch and third branch have taken more benefits, so now you're shouldering more responsibilities. Moreover, my family isn't very rich. The jewelry my little sister is wearing was bought with the help of Yun. I can't get so much money. I can only say that my little sister is lucky to have married into Yun'er's family. Today she has the opportunity to wear gold and silver and be envied by others. Madame Qi pursed her lips and felt uncomfortable. She stared at Mu Hin a few more times. The more she looked at Mu Hin's jewelry, the more envious she became. When would their first branch become so rich that they could buy her some gold jewelry to wear? In the entire village there weren't many women who could wear gold jewelry. Unfortunately, she could only think about it enviously in her heart. She knew that this wish was too far away and could not be realized at all. At this time Zhu Dainiu also came over to join in the fun. If Zhu Sanlu hadn't been injured last time and was still lying in bed, he would definitely want to join in the fun today. Zhu Dainiu was a man, so he couldn't directly enter Mu Hin's boudoir like Madame Qi and Mrs. Zhu. He could only curiously stretch his head out and look outside, looking forward to seeing Mu Hin dressed up beautifully. In the past he was really attracted to Mu Hin. This little girl was too beautiful. During the days when he lived in the family Zhu's old house, he often saw Mu Hin, so he had these strange thoughts about her. However, he didn't have the fortune to be with Mu Hin. He was already married and had a career. He was old and he wasn't a handsome man. It was normal that Mu Hin didn't like him. However, this didn't prevent him from having Mu Hin in his heart. When he saw Mu Hin getting married, he was even more reluctant to part with her. If possible, he wanted to keep Mu Hin. Some people and some things were beyond their ability. They could only sigh and feel helpless. Seeing Zhu Dainiu looking into Mu Hin's room like a thief, Zhu Eru frowned and walked towards him. He patted Zhu Dainiu's shoulder and asked him unhappily, "Big brother, what are you looking at?" Being caught by Zhu Dainiu was a little embarrassed. He laughed awkwardly and then said, Second brother, I saw that your wife's younger sister is getting married today, so I thought that she would definitely dress up very beautifully. Hin's weddings. Zhu Eru's frown deepened. He replied unhappily, "Big brother, what nonsense are you talking about? The bride is for the groom to see, not for you to see. Why are you looking at her so eagerly?" Being reprimanded by Zhu Eru like this, Zhu Dainiu felt that he had lost face. "Second brother, why are you being so rude? I'm just looking. What's wrong with looking? Can't the bride be seen by others except for the groom? If you're good looking, you should be seen by others. Otherwise, who would know that the bride is beautiful?" Chapter 2250. Zhu Eru's face instantly darkened. He felt that his eldest brother was being naughty again. He had been naughty before, staring at Mu Hin. It was normal for him to have such dirty thoughts again. "Eldest brother, don't think that everyone is like you. I'm not as senseless as you. You already have a wife. Isn't that enough? Do you have to stare at other women? You're really eating from the bowl, thinking about the pot, and still looking forward to the vegetable field outside. To put it bluntly, you're not satisfied." Zhu Dainiu did not expect to be humiliated by Zhu Eru again. He was his eldest brother. How could he say that about him? Zhu Dainiu was not convinced and retorted, "Second brother, you can say that. Second sister-in-law is also very good looking. But look at my wife. She's so ugly. I can't stand looking at her. I want to see a beautiful woman. Am I wrong? Besides, I'm just looking. There are so many people in our village. How many men go to the brothel behind their wives' backs to find women? I haven't even been there. I haven't done anything physically. Am I wrong to take a look?" Zhu Eru did not know how to make a name for himself. He even came up with such logic. "Anyway, eldest brother, you can't look. Hurry up and get out. Don't look at her anymore. If you don't behave, I'll deal with you like how I dealt with third brother." As Zhu Eru spoke, he raised his fist in a threatening manner. Zhu Dainiu then resentfully left the house. Really, his second brother was too petty. He just took a look. He didn't do anything. Okay. I'll leave, okay? Zhu Dainiu angrily waved his hand and left the house. Zhu Eru's expression returned to normal. The conversation between Zhu Dainiu and Zhu Eru was vaguely heard by Madame Qi. Madame Qi gritted her teeth in hatred. The man actually said that she was ugly. He even wanted to look at other women. Looking at Mu Hin's beautiful appearance, Madame Qi felt a stuffy breath in her chest. She felt so uncomfortable that she couldn't get it out. It seemed that there were no good men. They would all be seduced by vixens. She then stared at Mu Hin. Her beautiful appearance stung Madame Qi's eyes. Madame Qi couldn't wait to step forward and scratch Su Qingyao's face. Unfortunately, she didn't dare. In the end, she could only endure it. Vixen. Even so, Madame Qi still cursed in a low voice. Now that she was married, she hoped that Mu Hin would stop seducing others. She couldn't set her eyes on other people's men. "Alright, XNXN, you can put on the red veil now." Mu Hin took out the red veil and covered Mu Hin with it. Mu Hin responded. Then Mulan helped her to the bed and sat down. "All we have to do is wait. When the auspicious hour arrives, the bridal procession will arrive." Yes, I got it, sis." Mu Hin sat in front of the bed. She was very nervous, but there was also a touch of expectation in her nervousness. Thinking that she was going to be Zhao Tianan's wife, what could make her happier than this? There's no hurry. There's still a while before the auspicious hour. "Mother, can you go to Yun'er's place and see?" "Just go ahead. See if Sister Yun'er needs any help. Her family is very busy today." "Well, stay in the room for a while. I'll be back soon." After telling Mu Hin, Mulan went out of the room. Chapter 2251. At this time, there were many people in the courtyard of Zhao Yun'er's house. The most shocking thing was the arrival of the county magistrate's family. The county magistrate was sitting in a large carriage. The carriage stopped in front of the courtyard of Zhao Yun'er's house. The county minister was dressed in casual clothes, but he still had an extraordinary aura. He had an unparalleled majesty. Perhaps he had been an official for a long time, so he naturally had this aura. Behind the county magistrate was a woman in a silk dress and a child. The woman wasn't very old and she was very beautiful. The child was fair and cute like a porcelain doll. Although the crowd did not know the identity of the county magistrate, they knew that he was definitely not an ordinary person. Ah, the people from the third branch are so powerful. What kind of important person came to hold a wedding? Looking at his clothes, I know he is not an ordinary person. He should be a rich person from Yang City. Ah, isn't this the county magistrate? I saw him when I went to Yang City for a lawsuit. Xuanzi, don't make a mistake. This is the county magistrate? Are you sure? I said I saw him. I can't remember how he looks like, but how can I not remember this county magistrate? This is the person who came, I'm sure. After hearing Xuanzi's words, he looked so sure. It did not seem like he was lying. The crowd frowned and thought, could it be true? If the person who came to attend the third branch's wedding was the county magistrate, how influential would the third branch of old Zhao's family be? It was rare to see a big family holding a wedding in Yang City. How many people could invite the county magistrate? However, these people were curious about the relationship between the third branch of old Zhao's family and the county magistrate. How could they be so influential to invite the county magistrate? At this time, Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao were entertaining other people. The relatives of the Liang family came, so Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao had to greet them and arrange their seats. When they heard that the county magistrate was coming, they hurried out of the house and greeted Zhao Yun at the same time. Zhao Yun handed over the matters in the kitchen to the others, and temporarily went out to receive the guests. Sir, madam, you are here. Thank you for your hard work. You must be tired after such a long journey. Hurry up and sit down in the house. Have a rest and have a cup of tea. The county magistrate and his wife nodded casually. It's okay. We are not tired. You don't have to entertain us. Just treat us like others. After all, your family is so busy with the wedding today. We've troubled you by coming over to join in the fun. Madam, you're exaggerating. It's our family's fortune to have you and Milord here. We couldn't ask for more, so how could we find it troublesome? Hurry up and sit down in the house. The table and chairs and tables have been prepared. The county magistrate and his wife answered with a smile and then went into the house. Lan Xuanda excitedly pulled Zhao Yun'er's hand. His face was soft and cute, but with a bit of grievance he said to Zhao Yun'er, Sister Yun'er, you haven't come to see Xian'er for a long time. Xian'er missed you so much. Chapter 2252. Lan Xin's eyebrows moved slightly. Finally, he nodded heavily and responded, well, but sister, if you have time in the future, you must visit me more often. Zhao Yun'er saw that Lan Xin was sometimes so sensible that she felt sorry for him. She immediately agreed, if sister has time, I will definitely visit Xian'er. At that time, I will bring little sister with me. Okay. She invited the county magistrate and his family to sit at the table and then made them a pot of tea. In addition, she asked Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao to get some peanuts and melon seeds. If they felt bored, they could eat something to pass the time. The county magistrate's family was not so particular, so Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao were relieved. They thought that it would be difficult to entertain them. They didn't expect that the county magistrate's family was so easy to get along with, as Zhao Yun'er said. Miss Yun, you don't need to care about us. Just go and do your own things. The county magistrate's wife smiled slightly and let Zhao Yun'er and her family go. The more attentive they were to her, the more reserved she felt. Originally, she came out today to relax and join in the fun. If there were too many people around her, she would feel uncomfortable. Well, sir and madam, if you need anything, you can call us at any time. Okay. Zhao Yun'er went back to the kitchen to continue cooking. The third branch's couple entertained the others. Early in the morning, Zhao Wenxing and Jin Suizhuan came to Shuilan village from the town. When they arrived at Zhao Yun'er's house, it was already past 8 o'clock. There were also many people gathered in the courtyard of Zhao Yun'er's house. The other branches of old Zhao's family wanted to join in the fun. This person came to the third branch's house early in the morning. Now that the farm work was finished, except for the women who had to do the housework, the men were all idle. Seeing Zhao Wenxing and Jin Suizhuan come back together, Zhao Wentao was pleasantly surprised and said to old Zhao's family, fifth brother and fifth sister-in-law are back. I haven't seen them for a long time. Fifth brother hasn't been home for a long time. Today we are holding a wedding at third brother's house. Otherwise, I don't know when I can see fifth brother. Zhao Wenhua nodded and responded. Her eyes were filled with tears. She said excitedly, Yes, I haven't seen fifth brother for a long time indeed. This time he's finally back. Our Zhao family can finally be reunited today. Yes, it's rare. It's really great. Let's go and have a chat with fifth brother. We haven't seen each other for so long. We need to have a good chat. Compared to the excitement of Zhao Yunlong and Zhao Wentao, the rest of the Zhao family did not have much of a reaction. Hua Chunhua, on the other hand, had a gloomy expression on her face. She seemed very unhappy as she reprimanded Zhao Wentao and Zhao Yunlong. He abandoned our whole family for a widow, and now he still knows to come back? Anyway, I'll pretend I didn't give birth to this son. I get angry just looking at him. And that widow, she's so cheap. Her man is dead. She doesn't do anything else but hang out with men outside. Our old Zhao's family is unlucky. One of the few scholars was killed by her. After Hua Chunhua's scolding, Zhao Wentao and Zhao Wenhua were embarrassed. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.